to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I'm going to call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Alderman Hoffman.
Here.
Alderman Barella. Alderman Rucker.
Here.
Alderman Collins. Here. Alderman Morose. Alderman Osteen.
Here.
Mayor Harmonson.
Here. All right. We're going to start off with citizens' communication. This is a time set aside on the agenda for citizens and visitors to address the mayor and the board on any topic that is not a public hearing. For those here in person, speakers will be restricted to 3 minutes unless otherwise permitted. Minutes may not be donated or transferred from one speaker to another. Any questions or comments for the mayor and the board may also be sent to the city clerk at tberreth@osagebeach.org no later than 10 a.m. on the board meeting day, the first and third Thursday of each month. Submitted questions and comments may be read during the citizens' communications section of the agenda. The Board of Aldermen will not take any action on any item not listed on the agenda, nor will it respond to questions, although staff may be directed to respond at a later time. The mayor and the Board of Aldermen welcome and value input from and feedback from the public. Is there anyone here who would like to address the board? All right, seeing none, we're going to move on to the approval of the consent agenda. If the board so desires, the consent agenda may be approved in a single motion. Has the board had the opportunity to read the minutes from the Alderman meeting April 30th, 2026 and April 2nd, 2026, and the bills list from April 16th, 2026? If there's no comments or questions, I'd entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion to approve.
Alderman Hoffman, is there a second?
Second.
Alderman is that Morose? Alderman Morose. All those in favor?
Aye.
Seeing none opposed, the consent agenda has been approved. Next, we'll have a financial update from City Administrator Devin Lake, please.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the board. I am happy to report again for the fourth month of the year that we are 7% above where we were at this point last year and 10% above budget. So we are looking really, really well where we are at in the year. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Devin? All right. Very good. Seeing none, we're going to move to unfinished business, and how appropriate. My last meeting has tons of reading with the Ron White show. I'll move through these fairly quickly. We'll start off with Bill 26-28, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, amending the Osage Beach Code of Ordinance by repealing and replacing Chapter 500, Article 4, Section 500.110, adoption of the International Mechanical Code, Section 500.120, 2018 International Mechanical Code Amendments, second reading. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve second reading?
Motion to approve.
Alderman Rucker, is there a second?
Second.
Alderman Collins, roll call vote, please.
Alderman Osteen.
Yes.
Alderman Morose.
Yes.
Alderman Barella. Alderman Collins.
Yes.
Alderman Rucker.
Yes.
Alderman Hoffman.
Yes.
All right, second reading, Bill 26-28 passes. Next, we have Bill 26-29, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, amending the Osage Beach Code of Ordinance by repealing and replacing Chapter 500, Article 2, Section 500.040, adoption of National Electrical Code, Section 500.050, National Electric Code, Amendment Section 500.060, enforcement. Second reading, Ron White, you have anything to add?
I have nothing to add, Mayor, but I'm happy to answer any questions.
Comments or questions from the board? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Alderman Collins, is there a second?
I'll second.
Alderman Osteen, very good. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Hoffman.
Yes.
Alderman Rucker.
Yes.
Alderman Collins.
Yes.
Alderman Barella. Alderman Morose.
Yes.
Alderman Osteen.
Yes.
All right, Bill 26-29 also is approved, second reading. Next, we have Bill 26-30, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, amending the Osage Beach Code of Ordinance by repealing and replacing Chapter 500, Article 1, Section 500.010, 2018 International Building Code, Section 500.020, 2018 International Building Code adoption. Second reading. Ron White, anything else?
No, sir.
Comments or questions from the board? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve second reading?
Motion to approve.
Alderman Rucker, is there a second?
Second.
Alderman Collins, roll call vote, please.
Alderman Collins.
Yes.
Alderman Osteen.
Yes.
Alderman Morose.
Yes.
Alderman Rucker.
Yes.
Alderman Barella. Alderman Hoffman.
Yes.
Second reading, Bill 26-30 passes. Next, we have Bill 26-31, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, amending the Osage Beach Code of Ordinance by repealing and replacing Chapter 500, Article 7, Section 500.180, adoption of the International Fire Code, Section 500.190, judicial title definition, Section 500.200, International Fire Code amendments. Anything else, Ron?
No, sir.
Comments or questions from the board? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve second reading?
Motion to approve.
Alderman Hoffman, is there a second?
I'll second.
Alderman Osteen. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Barella. Alderman Hoffman.
Yes.
Alderman Rucker.
Yes.
Alderman Collins.
Yes.
Alderman Morose.
Yes.
Alderman Osteen.
Yes.
Second reading, Bill 26-31 also passes. Next, we have Bill 26-32, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, amending the Osage Beach Code of Ordinances by repealing and replacing Chapter 500, Article 8, Section 500.240, adoption of the International Fuel Gas Code, Section 500.250, 2018 International Fuel Gas Code amendments. Second reading, Ron White.
Thank you, Mayor. I have nothing additional to add.
Comments or questions from the board? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve second reading?
Motion to approve.
Alderman Collins, is there a second?
Second.
Alderman Morose. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Osteen.
Yes.
Alderman Rucker.
Yes.
Alderman Hoffman.
Yes.
Alderman Barella. Alderman Collins.
Yes.
Alderman Morose.
Yes.
All right, second reading, Bill 26-32 also passes. Next, we have Bill 26-33, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, amending the Osage Beach Code of Ordinance by repealing and replacing Chapter 500, Article 5, Section 500.140, adoption of International Plumbing Code, Section 500.150, 2018 International Plumbing Code amendments. Anything else, Ron?
No, sir.
Anything from the board? Do I have a motion to approve second reading?
Motion to approve.
Alderman Rucker, is there a second?
Second.
Alderman Morose, roll call vote, please.
Alderman Hoffman.
Yes.
Alderman Barella. Alderman Rucker.
Yes.
Alderman Collins.
Yes.
Alderman Morose.
Yes.
Alderman Osteen.
Yes.
Bill 26-33 passes second reading. Next, we have Bill 26-34, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, amending the Osage Beach Code of Ordinances by repealing and replacing Chapter 500, Article 3, Section 500.080, adoption of the International Property Maintenance Code, Section 500.090, 2018 International Property Maintenance Code. Anything else, Ron?
No, sir.
Comments or questions from the board? Do I have a motion to approve second reading?
Motion to approve.
Alderman Collins, is there a second?
I'll second.
Alderman Osteen, roll call vote, please.
Alderman Rucker.
Yes.
Alderman Morose.
Yes.
Alderman Collins.
Yes.
Alderman Osteen.
I may say no just to mix it up. The monotony, but yes.
You want to mess up my minutes? Knock it off. Down there, goofy. All right, yes, back up to Alderman Hoffman.
Yes.
Alderman Barella.
All right, Bill 26-34 passes second reading. Bill 26-35, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, amending the Osage Beach Code of Ordinances, repealing and replacing Chapter 500, Article 1, Section 500.035, 2018 International Residential Code, adoption, Section 500.037, 2018 International Residential Code amendments. Anything else, Ron?
No, sir.
Comments or questions from the board? Motion to approve second reading?
Motion to approve.
Alderman Rucker, is there a second?
Second.
Alderman Morose, roll call vote, please.
Alderman Hoffman.
Yes.
Alderman Rucker.
Yes.
Alderman Collins.
Yes.
Alderman Morose.
Yes.
Alderman Osteen.
Yes.
Alderman Barella.
All right, Bill 26-35 passes second reading. Almost done, folks. Bill 26-36, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, amending the Osage Beach Code of Ordinances by repealing and replacing Chapter 500, Article 1, Section 500.025, International Existing Building Code, adoption, Section 500.027, 2018 International Existing Building Code amendments. Anything else, Ron?
No, sir.
Comments or questions from the board? Motion to approve second reading?
Motion to approve.
Alderman Hoffman, is there a second?
Second.
Alderman Collins, all those in favor? Oh,
Aye.
roll call vote, sorry.
Alderman
Got you,
Barella.
Hoffman.
Alderman Hoffman.
Yes.
Alderman Rucker,
Yes.
Alderman Collins,
Yes.
Alderman Morose,
Yes.
Alderman Osteen.
Yes.
All right, second reading passes.
I fell for the pump fake on that one.
Not intentional. Last one. Bill 26-37, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, adopting the International Swimming Pool and Spa Code, 2024 edition of a creation, a new section within Chapter 500, Article 1, 500.039, International Swimming Pool and Spa Code, Section 500.040, amendments. Ron, do you have anything?
Just thank you all for your support and enthusiasm. No, I have nothing further.
Anything from the board? Motion to approve second reading. Oh,
I
Alderman
just want to
Rucker.
make a comment, Ron, appreciate the hard work on this. I started this legacy that I'm proud of back in 1996. I brought it as a fire chief, was not related to the city at all as a fire district, and brought this to the city as well to make a common code by as many organizations within the lake area to make it easier on the construction people and make it more uniformed, and it has been a successful, and I appreciate you passing on, continuing on with that legacy, and I'm very proud that we've supported that. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Here, here, well done.
Very good. All right, do I have a motion to approve second reading?
Motion to approve.
Alderman Hoffman, is there a second?
Second.
Alderman Morose. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Osteen,
Yes.
Alderman Morose,
Yes.
Alderman Collins,
Yes.
Alderman Rucker,
Yes.
Alderman Barella, Alderman Hoffman.
Yes.
All right, Bill 26-36 passes second reading. Next, we have some of the aldermen. We're going to make a few comments about the outgoing elected officials, and then I'm going to give Alderman Morose an opportunity to say anything if you'd like to. And then, but I'll go. But right now, I think we have Alderman Hoffman first.
Not yet.
Thank you. So I get to speak on behalf of Alderman Barella. 2.5 years ago, when we were losing Alderman Schuman, a few of us, myself, Alderman Osteen, Mayor-elect Ross, we started the search to find somebody that we thought would be a good steward, someone with financial skills, and someone that we thought would bring a positive energy to the city. And Celeste's name came up from a lot of people. So I was very happy when we approached her that she was already thinking about running, and she has been very effective and brought a lot of energy and goodwill and good financial advice. A lot of it was behind the scenes. She didn't speak a lot up here, but behind the scenes and in those meetings, she had a very positive voice, and we all listened to her. So, and over the last 2 years, we've become to be very good friends, and someone that I love and cherish and respect, and I wish her all the best.
I don't know if you're aware
Oh.
of the comments that she wanted to make now the time.
Yes, please.
For me to read those? She asked me to read those, and if you don't mind, sorry. I didn't realize that you were leaving that piece of it.
Sure.
So, by the way, the reason Celeste isn't here is because this is April 16th, and in her business, that's a holiday, okay? When I last talked to her about 10 o'clock this morning, she was getting on a plane to go to Pittsburgh and enjoy the weekend. It's been a long tax season. So she wanted to leave everyone with these comments. It has been a true honor to serve as your alderman. I am grateful to the residents of this community for placing your trust in me, allowing me the opportunity to represent you. During my time, I have valued every conversation, every perspective, and every chance to work together with staff and fellow board members towards improving our city. While my time in this role came to a close, my appreciation for this community remains strong. I am proud of what we have accomplished together and confident in the city's continued progress. I look forward to serving in other capacities should I have the opportunity. Thank you again for the privilege of serving you. She's a great lady. Yes, she is. She's awesome.
Take a picture of, or no? I'm not sure how this process is. Let's take a picture.
Let us get out of the photo bomb. Here, I'm hid behind the picture.
All right. Next up, I believe, is Mr. Rucker.
Yes. That long and hard and thinking, and the word keeps coming to mind, memories. Memories. There are so many. I remember the days that Dave and I sat up on the stage at the MML conference, and you and Darla sat out in the audience making fun of us.
No.
Yes. As we enjoyed the MML conference every year and the very good education we received and all the classes that we attended, the many years that you attended those. I remember those days that you worked very hard for the Parkway West Side when we had some challenging situations. And that was above and beyond your role as an alderperson, but you did it and you stepped up and you did what was right for the community. I remember those days vaguely, but I do remember some of those days back at the putt-putt golf when you guys had the golf, your business, one of many businesses that you had. Some that I found out I didn't even know that you guys had, some of the restaurants that you had. So you've been involved in this community for a number of years. You've been involved with this board for 14 years as an alderperson. I've served with you and with great honor. We've had many discussions and disagreements and agreements, but you always did it for the right reason, what was best for the community. And I just can't say enough to thank you on behalf of not only me, but of all these people, everybody in your ward, because you always did what was best for the community. Thanks.
Thank you.
Please do.
I've got 20 pages in 20 minutes. Is it on?
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to extend my sincere congratulations to the new mayor, Richard, and wishing you all the best. Also congratulate Bill and Stephen for being elected as the 2 new aldermen. I know both of you will be a great asset to the board. There's a lot to learn about the city's operations, but the department managers will be most helpful. One thing for sure, always keep in mind, you've been elected to be representatives for your ward. Therefore, keep your residents informed regularly, as well as reminding them to go to the city's website where they can review the most recent city board meeting and happenings that are going on in the city. These past 12 years, you said 14, I'm thinking 12, but whatever, it's been a long time. Been one of my best chapters in my life. Truly been an honor and a privilege to serve on the Board of Aldermen, and definitely most memorable. I want to express my appreciation for all the help and kindnesses extended to me over these past years. Our city is very blessed to have so many dedicated, hardworking employees. Of course, not to mention the administrators and department managers are always eager to respond to anyone requesting assistance, including, of course, our city clerk. There are no words to describe how much I've enjoyed sharing the dais with my fellow aldermen and respecting each and other's opinions and decisions. We, without a doubt, have been a team always striving to do right for the city. Thank you all for your friendship. Believe me, I will still be around. You're not getting rid of me. And hoping to serve in a committee or helping out wherever needed. After all, the city's been my second home, and I'll cherish all the memories forever. Thank you. Oh, how lovely.
Put this in the center, you guys can stand, take your picture.
And guess who's bringing up the rear? I have a few words to speak about Mayor Harmison. I usually like to wing my speeches. I think I'm pretty good at that, but I actually wanted to write a few things down. So, everyone has an opinion. I'm a man full of opinions. I believe my family and friends and everyone in this room would not argue that statement as not being true. But it takes a very strong person to put themselves in a position where those opinions are shared on a public forum. And by doing so, you open yourself up to criticism and negativity. Michael Harmison is one of a rare breed of people who is willing to put himself on that stage. Many people talk about running for public office. Many people toy with the idea, but few people are willing to pull the trigger and try to work for the betterment of their city because of the scrutiny it brings upon that position. For that, I would like to thank Michael for his 4 years of service as mayor of the city of Osage Beach, and for willing to put yourself in the crosshairs of public opinion. You didn't always get it right. None of us do.
Says you.
But at the end of the day, at least you tried. You should leave this office and this position knowing that good, bad, or otherwise, you willingly and knowingly tried to better the city. You were an integral part of making positive change for the city and its citizens. For this, you should be proud. Few people would put themselves in that position to do that. So, as I said before, you should be proud and honored for the fact that you're willing to put yourself out there. And that basically is why we're so thankful for your tenure as mayor. Thank you very much. We have referenced this book in your tenure as mayor. The entire staff signed this copy for you.
Thank you. That's awesome. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah. Also, obviously, recognition for you. And thank you, Michael, really.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's get a picture. And I too have something to say. And I'm going to read it this time. Normally I talk, but I don't think you folks want to be here all night. So I'm just going to read. This is what I posted on Facebook the other day. It kind of sums up where I am. If I do start talking, I'd probably get emotional. So I'm just going to tell you, and here's what I wrote, and I sincerely mean this, that I've had a few days to reflect on the election, and I want to share a quick note and let you know I'm doing just fine. And it's signaled with an exclamation point because I really am doing great. In politics, when some people are frustrated with the status quo, the angry vote often targets the incumbents and to start fresh from the top. And I respect this process and the voice of the voters. However, I am incredibly proud to say that I'm leaving the city of Osage Beach better than I found it. From the $1 billion in new investments, expansion of our parks, more family-friendly entertainment, pro-development, new housing, customer service, increased police pay, getting a handle on our sewer smell, the Anglers Outpost, the Oasis, Marriott Convention Center, indoor water park, working with the developers on the mall, the Chick-fil-A, and the development of our wonderful staff. I can't say enough about our staff, and that book that you're referencing is we're getting the right people on the bus, and sometimes when the bus takes an unexpected turn, you know, if you have enough people that are on the bus, then they can deal with that turn, and so I feel very confident about that. But we are becoming the envy of the destination, the premier destination of the United States. We really are. And over the last 4 years, we've built a foundation of excellence. And yes, I'm very proud of that, Alderman Osteen, so thank you. But I truly wish the elected officials nothing but success. I hope they work hard and they keep this incredible momentum that we started going. For me, it isn't the end. It's a massive new beginning. I'm more energized than ever to dedicate 100% of my focus to my store, my family, and having some well-deserved fun. I'm healthy, fit, and I feel better than I have in years, and I firmly believe that God has bigger and better plans for me in store, and I'm stepping into the next chapter with total confidence. As far as any political aspirations for me, you just never know. We'll see. But I want to thank everybody, all my supporters who stood by me. We are living in the heart of Lake of the Ozarks, and you're going to see me out and about. The best is yet to come, and I truly thank all of you. So thank you very much.
So I guess now I leave.
All right, please note for the record, I am the interim mayor for a minute. All right, we are moving on to new business. Our first order of business is a motion to approve the certification of the 2026 municipal election results. This is in accordance with RSMO 115.507. Election results must be certified to the city by an announcement of the results by a verification board. When due an abstract of votes to be official returns. This act acknowledges these certifications as follows. Richard Ross was elected as mayor of the city of Osage Beach to serve a 2-year term. Brad Smith was elected as the Osage Beach collector to serve a 2-year term. Kevin Rucker was elected as Osage Beach Alderman for Ward 1 to serve a 2-year term. Stephen George was elected as an alderman for the city of Osage Beach Ward 2 to serve a 2-year term. And Mr. Bill McKay was elected as an Osage Beach Alderman for Ward 3 to serve a 2-year term. Because part of the city of Osage Beach does encompass parts of Miller County, there are additional election results regarding some of these results. Through Miller County, the Osage Beach Mayor, Richard Ross, was the elected official for that position. Brad Smith was elected as the Osage Beach Collector, and Kevin Rucker was elected as the Osage Beach Alderman for Ward 1. Once again, there's a difference between the Camden County votes and the Miller County votes. But once again, we're certifying these results to swear in our new officers. So do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
Second?
Is this a roll call vote? Just all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Take the gavel away from me.
We will now turn it over to our city clerk for the certification of the newly elected officials.
Oath of office.
Oath of office.
Oath of office. There you go.
We'll wait to do the mayor last. Let's do Brad Smith. Brad.
And they usually go, do it here? Okay.
Up here.
Yep, up here. Okay, raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Brad Smith,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States,
of the United States,
the Constitution
the Constitution
of the State of Missouri,
of the State of Missouri,
and the city ordinances
and the city ordinances
of the City of Osage Beach,
of the City of Osage Beach,
that I am faithfully, that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
demean myself as
demean myself as
City Collector
City Collector
within and for
within and for
the City of Osage Beach,
the City of Osage Beach,
for which I was elected.
for which I was elected.
There you go. Okay, let's do all the aldermen together. You want? Yeah? Yeah. I don't know who moved it over there. Okay. There we go. Here, I'm gonna do that.
Big guy. I ran that picture. I'm going to run this picture. Alderman, 1, 2, 3.
All right, guys. Hi. Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Stephen Drucker,
Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States,
of the United States,
the Constitution
the Constitution
of the State of Missouri,
of the State of Missouri,
and the city ordinances
and the city ordinances
of the City of Osage Beach,
of the City of Osage Beach,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
demean myself as
demean myself as
Alderman of Ward 1, 2, and 3.
Alderman of Ward 2,
Oh, you guys are on it. Within and for
within and for
the City of Osage Beach,
the City of Osage Beach,
for which I was elected.
for which I was elected.
Congratulations. Same thing, sign yours and give it back to me and I will have.
Okay.
And there's one for each of you, just the great ones. Okay? Now, Richard.
Mr. Ross. Welcome to our area. Camera's back.
The can is back. How many times are we gonna lose it?
A couple.
Let's go.
All right, where am I going?
Right here.
Okay,
There you go.
all right.
Okay, raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Richard Ross,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution
the Constitution
of the United States,
of the United States,
the Constitution
the Constitution
of the State of Missouri,
of the State of Missouri,
and the city ordinances
and the city ordinances
of the City of Osage Beach,
of the City of Osage Beach,
and that I will faithfully demean myself as
and I will faithfully demean myself as
mayor
mayor
within and for
within and for
the City of Osage Beach,
the City of Osage Beach,
for which I was elected.
for which I was elected.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Richard.
Great, thank you.
All right.
All right. Okay. So if the board will indulge me for just a moment, I have some quick thoughts, if you don't mind. Would that be okay? I wanted to thank everyone, the outgoing elected officials, supporters, the public that I got to meet, friends, family, and I will just say this last week or so has been, the outpouring and congratulatory remarks have been wonderful, and to be quite honest, they've been humbling. I hope that I can meet their expectations. With that, though, the most important thanks go to my family who's here, and I'm going to make them stand up, whether they like it or not. Chris, Erica, and Jordan. All right. And so I have a couple things to say. Jordan to the right on the right of mine. This is Jordan Moore. He's our unofficial adopted son who drove all the way down here from Wisconsin to see this. I can't thank him enough, and he was a retired military, and we thank you for your service. On the far left is Erica, my wonderful daughter, who's much smarter than I am, and has changed her schedule around to be here tonight. I can't thank you enough. And what's most important is my wife, Chris, my rock, who has given up so much for this campaign and for this to happen. She's wonderful. I couldn't do it without her, and I want everyone to know that the last thing, or the fact that she was going to lose her cabana boy was not highest on her list when we started this process. Thank you. As well, I want to thank the staff. We've worked together before. Over these last few days, they've been very supportive and helpful. It's my pleasure to work with you, and I want you to know that I feel you are our most valuable asset, and I hope that I always extend that perception. To this board, thank you from before. For those that have helped along the way in the past months, thanks so much. I have watched this board for probably nearly 23 years of the 25 that I've worked here or lived here, and I am confident that this, if not the best, it's one of the best boards ever assembled, and I'm privileged and honored to be able to work with you all. The public has set high expectations, and I am more than confident that with this staff and this board, it will deliver at levels that meet their expectations. I will be laser focused to do so. With that, we'll move on, and I will probably make many mistakes tonight, but please bear with me. We'll get through it. So, first order of business is a proclamation, which is where? Oh, motion, I'm sorry, excuse me, I jumped on one. There we go. Number one mistake made. Motion to elect president of the board.
I'd like to make a motion to elect Bob Osteen.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Hoffman and seconded by Alderman Collins. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, everyone.
Congratulations,
Honored to serve another year as president.
Bob Osteen, Alderman Osteen. All right, proclamations. First order of business is proclamation authorizing the mayor to recognize the week of May 3rd through May 9th, 2026 as Municipal Clerks Week. Whereas the office of the municipal clerk, a time-honored and vital part of local government, exists throughout the world. And whereas the office of the municipal clerk is the oldest among public servants, and whereas the office of the municipal clerk provides the professional link between the citizens, the local governing bodies, and agencies of government at other levels, and whereas the office of the municipal clerks have pledged to be ever mindful of their neutrality and impartiality, rendering equal service to all, and whereas the office of the municipal clerk serves as the information center on functions of local government and community, and whereas the office of municipal clerks continually strive to improve administration of the affairs of the office of the municipal clerk through participation in education, programs, seminars, workshops, and the annual meetings of their state, county, and international professional organizations, and where it is most appropriate that we recognize the accomplishments of the office of the municipal clerk. And now therefore, I, Richard Ross, Mayor of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, do recognize the week of May 3rd through May 9th, 2026 as Municipal Clerks Week. And in witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Osage Beach to be affixed the 16th day of April 2026. Thank you for everything you do, city clerks. Backside. Okay. Next proclamation is a proclamation authorizing the mayor to proclaim the week of May 3rd through May 9th, 2026 as Local Government Week. Whereas local governments in Missouri make important decisions that affect the lives of all Missourians, and whereas local governments are the level of government closest to the people, and where local governments include city councils, county commissions, school boards, and among others, and whereas local governments are the ultimate expression of grassroots democracy, and whereas local governments play an essential role in the quality of life in Missouri communities, now therefore, I, Richard Ross, Mayor of the City of Osage Beach, do hereby proclaim the week of May 3 through 9, 2026, Local Government Week. In the City of Osage Beach, and urge all Missouri citizens to join me in recognizing local governments as they serve their communities. In witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Osage Beach to be affixed for this 16th day of April 2026. Thank you. Figure out where all this goes. Okay. So next. The next, I think we have a presentation from Jeff Fisher, I believe, on the sewer system evaluation.
Thank you, Mayor. As I make my way up here, I wanted to recognize some of the Public Works folks here tonight for the special occasion a few minutes ago, and then also the sewer report. They know the importance of this and the amount of work that went into that, so I appreciate them being here. I have done a lot of these over my career, but only a handful like this. I understand the sort of gravity associated with this. there's a lot to unpack here, so unfortunately, I'm going to do a lot of talking that I don't really like doing all that much of. So bear with me, and some grace would be appreciated. Chris Duncan's going to join me here in a little bit. Would you mind handing my paper there? I want to make sure I hit a few points. Give me a few minutes to set this up, if you wouldn't mind. And I recognize that this isn't great timing for the newly elected. It is a big report and with a lot of implications, so I don't expect any direction tonight. I'm not asking for any direction. I expect you'll want to digest this and maybe have a few more discussions before we align around something. We identified several things here. It all started with when I was hired, one of the clear priorities was to attack the odor problems. In doing so, we've went through the entire system just about. And we're at this point now where I think I'm ready to have this discussion, share with you what we found over the last 11 months. This is my 11th month, almost a year. And then going forward, I would expect to have a few more discussions, of course, whenever you would like, and talk about what usually happens on these is sort of do this report, have a few discussions. If you want to move forward, it's about preliminary design, doing some modeling on this sewer system, and get you ready so you can have a financial planning discussion, and then consider asking the community for an election bond for their support. So that's sort of the path I've been working and operating from based on my experiences. It all started by attacking the odors. And one day, Chris's crew got called out on a Friday evening because of an odor over by Lowe's. And initially, we thought it might have been one of the blow-offs, but they targeted a leak. It's the 24-inch interceptor. They dug it up and then uncovered a pipe full of deterioration. They even had a hard time finding, they had to cut enough out so that they'd get fittings and put the new pipe in. That's how much deterioration there was. And we'll show you some pictures and some videos a little bit later. So they repaired it, and that triggered some concerns. So we went ahead and worked something out with one of our partners to come out and TV as much of the line as possible. One of the difficulties with this system, it's not like gravity where we can go in a manhole every few hundred feet and look in the system. We don't have that luxury here with our pressure system. So we have to cut holes in the system. We don't want to do too much of that, right? But we've done enough of that. I think we have a good idea of how extensive the deterioration is. Chris is our resident expert. He knows more about this system than anybody in this room or in this city. We do have other people. Thankfully, Carrie, they've been helpful. Ron's been helpful. Lloyd's been helpful. They have historical knowledge to help get me up to speed. But Chris and his team has done the bulk of the work helping me get there and understand things. And hopefully the videos on Facebook have been helpful. We've seemed to get a lot of support from that. And we've sort of set that up to lead us here. If you watch the last video, I'll go through those things again in more detail. So I appreciate Chris's help. He's gonna again talk us through a couple of photos and a couple of videos. Okay. All right, so number one priority was odor. We've done a lot on that. We're not complete yet. But one of the first things that I've always had to do coming into a new team is really find out where the ideas are and the solutions that are already in hand. And the bugs were already being deployed when I got here. You all had already tried different things prior to that. The bugs weren't available until more recently. Chris was already experimenting with that. that is going to be a primary solution going forward. Are we still experimenting with it, figuring out how to use the data to drive where we place those and at what volumes, at what rates? Yeah, we're still working on that. Aerators have also been proven to be instrumental, and we'll probably have more aerators out there. We've made operational adjustments, like during the winter, only running one of the force mains at a time and alternating them. Charcoal filters. We have 6 of those in hand right now. They will be deployed over the next few weeks. Modifications at Sands. That's one of those, that's an example of the solution's already in hand. The idea is already there. It's just Chris saying, hey, this is what I've been thinking we should do with Sands. Whether he never had an opportunity or never had support or whatever was the case, we talked through it, made sense to me, let's go do it. He did it, took a few days. That is the bulk of the solution at Sands. Still got a few concerns. Bugs are still gonna have to be important to that. But that eliminated most of the regular odor that you were experiencing over the last few decades. System efficiency, still working on that, and I'll speak to that a little bit more. Priority number 2 was sort of the budgetary commitment. We have our new GIS specialist. Hannah has done a great job. The budget commitments in 2026 are going to be extremely helpful. Some new locating equipment. And then we'll be coming to you very soon, probably on May 7th, to get your support for the new master plan, the scope and fee for that, the data collection that's in the budget, all that on May 7th. That would be big on helping us get ready to understand the system, to master plan it, but also to help give you the information you're going to need to make decisions about how to finance improvements in the future. Priority number 3. This one's going to take a little bit more time. This one's going to be more of a long play. Performance conditions. I've shared some of the conditions we've found, but we're going to have to continue to work through the system on that. It's probably going to take a few years. Well, we got the private partners. You approved 7 or 8 on-call contracts late last year, and they've already been real useful. Inspection of the force mains. I think that one had been budgeted for maybe a couple of years, and we had trouble getting that off the ground. We were able to do that with one of those new on-call partners relatively easy and spent 20 or 30 grand versus the 300 or whatever was budgeted. So we have good confidence that the Grand Glaze force mains are in good condition. We'll show you more pictures. The one on the left, by the way, is one of those force mains. Looks very clean compared to the one in the middle. We rehabbed Rockway successfully. That went well. And then we've been inspecting the 24 and the 18-inch. I'll go into that more. Michael Bean's going to help us with some pictures and videos. Chris Duncan, if you wouldn't mind coming up and grabbing the microphone. I know you're all ready to do that. Just tell them a little bit about what you're seeing in these videos and photos.
So this picture here is the Grand Glaze force main. As you can see, basically just looks like the black inside of a pipe. Nice, shiny, smooth. Great condition on that. So I had no concerns for the longevity of that pipe under there. This is what my team found when they dug up the leak they found next to Lowe's. If you can imagine a 2-foot pipe with a hole big enough that I could fit in. So. Again, this is the 24-inch force main. As you can see, this is the same style of pipe as the other one that's underneath the Grand Glaze. See a lot of rust, a lot of white there. That's where the H2S gas is eating the pipe away. So what you're seeing here is the 18-inch that runs to the treatment plant, comes from the east side of town, cuts across by Outback, goes down D Road. It is a PVC pipe. As far as condition, the places that I've seen it's in decent condition. For the age, I would recommend maybe putting a liner in that. So here we are back in a 24-inch main.
Thank you, Chris. He's really uncomfortable doing that, but glad he got to do it. Good job. All right, so he mentioned the 18 and 24. There's an 18 plastic built in 1984. From the east side, it goes to the plant. They basically start paralleling each other, the 24 and the 18, about D Highway. The 24 was built in the early 2000s, and it's ductile iron pipe. It's a little bit odd that you'd expect the newer one to be plastic. I'm not sure how that happened, but it doesn't really matter. The 18 is plastic. It's in good shape. It probably does need to be lined. Typically, in the life of whether it's plastic or ductile iron pipe, it should be lined after about 40 or 50 years. So we're reaching that point. And by the way, we know that our infrastructure system here in Osage Beach is relatively new compared to many other cities across the country. We are in that 30 to 50 age range for water and sewer in this community. That is at the point in every community that they have to start investing in the system. And you get the most life out of your pipe by lining them ahead of the deterioration we're seeing. Unfortunately, on the 24-inch, the ductile iron pipe, the H2S levels over the last couple of decades have just eaten it away. We have, well, I'll come back to that. So, facts, findings, considerations. It's a unique system. I've said that over and over in the videos. We have like 1,200 stations. We have 80 plus lift stations, what most communities would call lift stations. That's where many stations come together into one and it transports to the mains. We have a lot of stations. About 85% of the system is under pressure. That is really unique. It moves slow because of all that. It also moves slow, something we found out thanks to Mr. Foltz pointing it out through an email because of the videos we were doing. His community has been operating in a certain manner because they discovered the water saver toilets were a problem for their system. He said, well, maybe it's the same for yours. Looked into it, and what has happened over the last few decades is all the appliances and toilets that have evolved and using less water is actually great for water consumption, but not for our sewer system. So that makes it even more difficult. As a result of the system moving slow, and people, we have so many people that come in during the summer and leave during the winter, and even during the summer, they might be gone for weeks at a time before they come back. The stuff's sitting in the system quite a while. So before it even gets into the force mains, it's septic. High H2S levels. That's also really unique. So we've got bugs at 7 locations. We've been doing that for about a year now, I guess. And we're thinking about changing how we do that and dialing them up. Sands lift station, that might need to be replaced. One of the things I pointed out in the last video, last week I think it was, I was on the whiteboard. There's 2 challenges with the 24-inch main. One, it comes out of Sands and it goes up and down these hills. And so what we think is happening, and then that's horizontal or vertically. Horizontally, it does a number of different moves. It's not very smooth. So we got 4 big pumps in Sands operating against that head constantly. And we think that might be one of the primary reasons we're going through pumps as often as we should not be going through pumps that often. It also creates, when it's going up the hill, the pipe is about a third full. And all that H2S gas is sitting in the rest of the pipe just eating away at it. And then it goes down the hill and the pipe fills up. So when we see down the hill, we don't see the deterioration. We only see it sort of in the hills, not in the valleys. So we believe at this point, something we didn't know when we made the SRF application before March 1, we had to make some assumptions before March 1, and I'll get into that a little bit, but we may not have to replace all of the 24, which will be a huge cost savings. So replace some of the 24 is what we're thinking right now, line the rest of it, line the 18, possibly replace Sands, but if we can smooth out the 24, maybe it still works. Either case, I would suggest we put a building over it to contain the odors when we have to work on it. And then there's still, like, we're going to model it. We don't know if we need 2 lines going to the treatment plant. We don't know if the 24 needs to be a 24, if it could be an 18 and reduce the pipe size. So all that is the work we need to do through preliminary engineering and modeling that we haven't done yet. So instead of 46 million, maybe we can get it down to 30 or 35 million. Still a big number, I understand, but I'll get back to that too. And we may need another station. As I mentioned before and in the videos, Sands pumps over 5 miles to the treatment plant through that zigzag line up and down hills. Even if we smooth that out, over 5 miles might be too far. Maybe we got to put another station in around like D Highway or something. So we'll sort all that out in preliminary design. So last time I reported was in February, I think it was. Got support to put in the SRF applications that were due March 1 for the newly elected. The state receives SRF applications once a year before March 1. So I thought it was prudent we get an application in, not just for sewer, but the water too, for the new tower. Get it in their queue, even if it starts off in their planning, and then available for funding in 27 potentially. So we did all that, but again, we were making some assumptions just to get the application in before March 1. We know a little bit more now than we did before. We'll still need to do some preliminary work, some modeling to further evaluate these things, and maybe we can get that 46 down quite a bit. State revolving fund is typically at 20, but depending on the financial circumstances of a city and the project, they may go to 25, maybe 30. Of course, it requires voter approval to pass a bond election, to pass a bond to support that. In the case of Osage Beach, which is also fairly unique, you have a capital improvement sales tax that others that visit the city all the time during the summer especially help pay for capital improvements instead of dependent entirely on water and sewer rates. It does generate $3.1 million a year roughly. If we can get the 46 down quite a bit, possible that covers all of your bond payments for the 20 or 25 years. This is just a sample of what that could look like. This is a financial expert from Burns McDonnell that helped me with this. He provided this. It does include the water tower as well, because I would suggest that if you're going to do bond elections and you want to attack both, you do one bond election and save some administrative costs. So action items that I would recommend are in the near future, and I will tell you that my experience is it will take a little time for everybody to align, especially the elected body, on what you want to do, how you want to go about doing it, a financial plan to support that, and then prepare for the public. So that's why I wanted to get in front of you sooner than later. Unfortunately, on the newly elected's first meeting, that we thought it was prudent. Preliminary design will be next. We'll have master plan, data collection, rate study, scope, and fee for you on May 7th. Rate analysis through probably August to get you a good draft set, and get new cost estimates from that preliminary design, and then help you determine what it is you want to do and get ready for a bond election, if you chose. I believe I hit all the points I wanted to, but I'll be happy to entertain any questions you have.
Anyone have any questions for Jeff? I'm sorry, Alderman Rucker, excuse me.
I just want to say thanks for the information. There's a lot here. As you said, we've got a lot to digest, but there's a lot of data here and a lot of information. And just thank you for bringing it forward and really digging into it rather than just the surface. So I appreciate that information.
Welcome.
Alderman Osteen.
Just some questions on the time frame you just talked about on your action items. You mentioned the cost estimates in August? Is that correct?
The rate studies we would like to have for you in August, so that you can start getting ready for budget.
Yeah, well, I don't want to hold your feet to the fire, but we've got strategic planning sessions in July.
Mm-hmm.
It would be nice to have some of that info, or if you could try to expedite that.
We're going to do our
as we
best.
start making a plan, because strategic planning goes to budget, which goes to it's a domino effect.
Understood. Yep.
Just throwing that out there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Alderman Hoffman.
Yes, great presentation. I want to thank you and Chris. This is really great information. I hope the public is seeing how large of a problem that we have here. I know we've made a lot of progress up to today, but there's a lot of work to do, and this is a great place to really start. And I applaud you for coming up and telling us the worst case scenario, because people don't like to do that, but if we don't have the right information, we can't solve this problem. So to you and your team, well done and thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? I'll just say thank you for having a comprehensive approach. That's not been done in a long time, if ever, and probably was long overdue. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Look forward to working with you. Okay, next item on the agenda is a public hearing for proposed water and sewer rate schedule changes. I'm not sure how best to handle this, and I'm looking for any suggestions. Does anybody have any comments or thoughts about, I think that I will take a shot that the intention here was to give the public an opportunity to provide feedback to us about any potential water and sewer rate changes. All right. Going once, going twice. Seeing, I do need a motion to close it. Thank you. I will
Motion to
entertain-
close hearing.
Motion by Second. Second by Alderman Osteen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing has been closed. Starting to come back to me, folks, but it's going to be slow. Next item on the agenda is Bill 26-38, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to sign change order number 1 for the water main loop Gulfview Lane to Nichols Road project for an amount not to exceed $44,720, bringing the total contract cost not to exceed $422,074. This is a first reading. Any comments or questions? Where are we at? I'm sorry, who is this? I'm sorry, I'll get this right here in a minute. Jeff, go ahead, I apologize.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. I believe we described sort of how we got here in your packet. It was approved by the board, I think, in late '24. And, we had the staff turnover early in '25 and some easements that were a little tough to find and organize around and make sure we had them. And then by the time we were ready to get the contractor going, we discovered there wasn't a performance bond. And that contract is too big not to have a performance bond. And our code requires a performance bond. So we discussed the idea of rebidding. The contractor actually came to that same conclusion because they didn't want to do the performance bond. It was not in their bid. But then, after some discussion, they decided that if the board would consider renegotiating the contract, the costs, because it had been so long, not exactly their fault, that they would be willing to do the project and give the city the performance bond. So the decision is approve the change order and still spend less than the number 2 bidder on the original bid, or we rebid the project. It would have the risk of spending more if we rebid it. It's been a good contractor. The city's had a good experience with them. So that's where we're at right now.
All right, questions? Alderman Hoffman.
Yeah, this was kind of the first thing I spearheaded. I'm a little disappointed that we're still talking about this and it's not completed. Is the $44,000 directly for the bond, or is that because the expense has gone up since it's been 2-3 years?
Yeah, it's definitely the expenses, inflation, all those things that have occurred over the last a year.
Because we have a really good relationship with this company, and I want to say it might have even been the only bid we got. I can't remember, but I'm happy to support it because I feel confident in this contractor, and honestly, I want to see this thing get done. It's taken a long time.
Staff's of the same opinion. It's been around a while. We'd like to get it done, but we could rebid it if the board wanted to.
Thank you.
Alderman Rucker.
Is the main itself that Alderman Hoffman worked so diligently to get the easement for?
That was a fun one.
Is it still in the same place, or did we have to move the main?
That's a good question. Colton still here? Same place.
So it's the same place. So the increase is just because of the fact of the bid they turned
Material
turned in
costs have
2
gone
years
up.
ago, and it's went up that much. So,
Sure.
and that's about what everything else is going up. So
And it does include the performance bond, but
Right.
that's a smaller cost.
yeah. Okay, that's all I have.
Alderman Collins.
So it is still, even with the increased amount, it's still lower than the next bid, correct?
That's right. Mhm.
Okay. So sending it out to bid, everybody's just
You
going
would
to go
risk
up,
spending more.
presumably?
Yeah.
And then I just have a question about budget. Since this was originally done in 2024, has it just been rolled over each year? So it doesn't have any impact on our budget? The funds are still sitting there from when it was budgeted previously?
The original bid was budgeted this year.
Right,
But if we
yes.
approve this change order, we will bring a budget amendment on May 7th.
Okay, but not the whole 447 or whatever? Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yes, Alderman George.
How much longer do we think it'll take before this project's completed?
I'll have to ask Colton that. Would you mind coming to the microphone real quick, Colton?
And just the main reason is are we going to keep seeing these? You know, is this going to take another couple years, and then we're going to see another $44,000 change? And
No, that will not happen, but I couldn't tell you how long it's going to take them to complete it.
Talking with the contractor, the goal is as soon as this change order is completed, we get on their timetable, and then this will be hopefully knocked out by the end of the year.
Oh, wonderful.
So we're hoping to move by very quickly with this process.
Any other questions?
I just,
Go ahead, Alderman Hoffman.
well, just because we've got a couple new board members here, this is the loop that goes down by the school, and it creates redundancy. So before, if we lost water down there, we didn't have redundancy, and the school would be out of water. And this ends up servicing all of Nichols, redundancy for the school, and the school got on board with this finally, and this helps a lot of people, so I'm glad we're seeing it through.
Yeah, thank you for that point. It's without it, you'd have areas that were vulnerable to a water main break, and they're out of water until we fix it. This gives us redundancy that Alderman Hoffman mentioned.
Is there any other benefits, especially for the new board, and it's been a while since I've been involved in this, is there any other benefits of this investment?
I don't know if I can speak to that. Maybe, I was
So the
thinking
value
development.
I'm just trying to understand, but the value is that if we were to have water main breaks, that we would have a redundant water source. That's the predominant value?
Well, it allows us to isolate the break on one leg or the other.
Okay.
And keep the community with water the entire time.
Okay,
Yeah.
good, because it's been so long, I couldn't remember why we're doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a lot of money not knowing why, so that's
Right.
why I asked. Alderman Rucker, you have your hand up.
Yes, I would just say from the fire chief side, it's been a number of years since I retired, but I still have it in my blood. This is a very important tool, a very important part, because unfortunately, that's one of the things I learned when I came down here in the 90s. So many of our water mains are dead end. They go down a lake road, they go down a lake road, they go down a lake road, and that was the biggest challenge that I was concerned with. This one here is going to be tying some of that in. I know we have plans in the future to continue that effort.
Right.
And it is going to be rather expensive because the way we're having to do it, but this makes our system more into a loop system, which most water systems throughout the country are looped some way or another, to where if there's a break one place, you can isolate it and continue. We have many places where that's not possible. This will make this possible for a large amount of that area, a lot of residential area and commercial.
Right. I know we have at least one more loop project this year. It's a smaller cost, but with the same intent. And we should do that periodically. Yeah.
Any other questions? Then at this point, need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Alderman Hoffman, a second?
Second.
Alderman George. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay. That's the first reading. First reading passes. That's what I need to say, Cole? Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, I'll get it right. All right, next item on the agenda, I believe, is Bill 2641, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, authorize the mayor to sign a contract with Camoin Associates for the independent economic and market analysis in an amount not to exceed $49,935. And this is Kerry Patterson, I believe.
Yes, Mayor Ross, members of the board. You all know that I'm not much of a person that wants to read to you when I do these things, but since Mr. Hundelt had so much to do with this particular project, I want to go ahead, and because he's such an eloquent writer with the help of ChatGPT, I told him I was going to take some pot shots at him tonight. But because of that, I want to go ahead and read his comments on this, and then I'll follow up with my own brand of comments and any answers to your questions that you might have. The city issued an RFP for a business sector analysis and received 6 proposals, with costs ranging from $44,000 to $69,000. This work is intended to bring clarity and direction to how Osage Beach approaches economic development and city planning. The goal is straightforward: move from reactive approach to a disciplined, data-driven plan that defines where we focus, what we pursue, and how we grow. It will also serve as a key input to the comprehensive plan update, so both efforts are aligned. We had ongoing discussions around growth, redevelopment, and business attraction while seeing increased investment and interest in our area. To date, decisions have largely been made on a case-by-case basis. This study provides the framework to step back, assess the full picture, and make more informed decisions. It impacts businesses, investors, residents, and our workforce, and requires alignment across city departments. Acting now allows us to shape growth instead of reacting to it. And with that, we do recommend, myself and Eric, the hiring of Camoin Associates to do our plan. Camoin Associates is a nationally recognized firm that works at the intersection of economic development and city planning. They've completed 2,000 projects across the country and bring practical approach that connects market analysis to real decisions around land use policy and investment. What stands out is how they bring everything together. Economic development, workforce, real estate, and planning are not treated as separate work streams. They look at as one system and back it up with strong data and experience in markets similar to ours. The result is not just analysis, but clean, usable direction. The study itself will give a full view of our business environment. It will assess our current mix of industries, identity gaps, evaluate where we have opportunity, and call out where our market may already be saturated. It also looks at workforce, tourism, retail, and commercial activity, along with benchmarking against corporate communities. Just as important, it connects growth and land use and infrastructure, where growth should happen, what it takes to support it, and how it aligns with the overall plan for the city. We will use this work to define and clear economic development direction. It will guide how we prioritize business attraction and retention, how we evaluate opportunities, and how we align efforts across the city. It will serve as a key input into the comprehensive plan update so that both efforts are working together. This is about putting structure around growth, clear priorities, aligned teams, and decisions grounded in data instead of reacting case by case. And that was from Eric. I guess I would go ahead, Mayor, and open it up for any questions if anybody would have any.
Okay. Does the board have any questions on this? Alderman Rucker.
Carrie, where are we at in reference to the comprehensive plan? Isn't that, at what point are we on? Are we like later this year, or are we moving into 27 to get that?
I didn't budget for the comprehensive plan this year because this is a study that I wanted completed before we started the comprehensive plan process. So at minimum, it will be 27. Provided we get all the information that we need from this, this will be the foundation of where we start with the comprehensive plan.
That leads me into my next question. When will this be completed? Or when will we get this data back and information back so we can make the decision if we are ready to move into 27 for the comprehensive plan?
It will be done by the end of this year. I don't have the timeline right now because we obviously haven't done the contract and everything, but our goal is to have this done, before budget process. So that would give us our time.
So you are looking to build upon this, though, with the comprehensive plan, because our comprehensive plan is kind of outdated.
Yeah, yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, this is what I've been waiting to get done, even going back to when we hired Buxton, who didn't provide the information that we needed. We're not talking about the comprehensive plan here, but when it comes to the comprehensive plan, I'm interested at this point, not in a comprehensive plan that's done by people putting sticky notes on maps. I'm looking for a comprehensive plan that's based in fact and analytics and numbers to tell us where we're going in the future. I think we're to the point of needing.
And this will provide a lot of that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Alderman Hoffman.
2 questions. One, does this have anything to do with the sports facility impact study that we're currently involved in?
No, this doesn't have anything to do with that. This will play off of that if we decide to have a sports facility. The sports facility itself and all that study will actually be on the May 21st meeting for a presentation of the second phase. So we're on that as well.
Okay, so my second question, because I was kind of leaning towards opposing this, but you're making me think that you kind of need this to do your job for the comprehensive
Absolutely.
plan, right?
Yes.
So I was kind of under the impression this was something that Eric was spearheading just for economic development, but this is a tool that it affects city planning as well.
Absolutely. So let me help you out just a little bit, by explaining this as best we can. I know one of the questions a lot of times has been, is there anyone on the staff or can the staff perform, what we need out of a study of this type? And on this situation, I can tell you that the answer to that is no. Because this is part of a different portion of the spectrum when it pertains to economic and development, okay? This is actually the who and the what. It's who are we and what are our strengths, what are our weaknesses, and what do we need to do to get stronger in those weaknesses. Eric's position typically would perform the how, and that is once we know what our weaknesses are, how are we going to get those weaknesses and fill those places? And then I ultimately, with the comprehensive plan, am the where, okay? Where are we going to put it? So that's how our team and our cycle works. And then ultimately, once you get past, where are we going to put it, then it goes to Ron. And Then once we get them built, we start talking about retention. This is as much about retention as it is anything else, because what this will allow us to do is, if we have groups that come in and they want to ask for incentives from the city, and we have this market study that tells us the type of uses that they're wanting to bring to the community we're already strong in or we're even saturated in, then that gives the board the idea or the knowledge maybe that we don't need to provide incentives to them, to that development, because we've already got strength or more than strength in that, and all it would do would cause, weakening of our existing businesses. And I think that that's something that this board and everybody here feel strongly about, is keeping who we have and keeping them strong. So that's part of what this will provide too. It will be a very big part of the deal whenever we start looking at TIFs and CIDs and all of those things in the future as well.
This is already budgeted for too, correct?
Yes, it was budgeted for $55,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Alderman Collins.
Okay, so I think everybody is very aware I'm pretty skeptical of studies. Okay, so help me to, what information do you specifically, like what information do you expect to get from this that we're going to be able to use? Like, I'm not sure how to phrase my question. So if a developer comes in tomorrow and they want to build a Casey's gas station, right? We have pretty many of them. This study's not going to tell us to tell them, no, you can't build that here, correct?
Correct. No, we would never tell somebody who wants to invest in our community to not invest in our community.
So how does this help us? Because we seem to already have a pretty good level of interest from development to come to our market without us going out and chasing them and trying to bring them here. Why do we need to study it as opposed to the developers who are going to come in doing their own due diligence on whether or not there's a market for whatever they're wanting to build here? Why should we pay for that and not them?
Okay, well, first, this is not necessarily about creating a document that, provides us the opportunity and our targets to go chase, though it does tell us if there are going to be commercial venues or aspects that we are weak in, we can start focusing on those if we decide to. But, the board can always, make those decisions if there's something in there that, we'll use an example of lawn and garden and home improvement. We've got quite a bit of that now, okay? So basically what this would come back and it would be numbers and facts based that, we have either a strong market for those or we could be even saturated. And if somebody came in on the west side and wanted to, go through the acronym soup of TIFs and CIDs and all those things, and their primary business or use was going to be another home improvement, center. This provides us or the board the opportunity to go, listen, we are excited that you want to come here, but we're not going to put taxpayer money in for your development.
But can't we require them, in a situation like that, can't we require the developer to provide us with that information rather than the taxpayers paying for it?
Well, that would be, those will be specific to individual businesses, and this is all encompassing. Yes, they will always do their own market reports, but what I can tell you from most market reports is they will look at it and they will see something that says, the market is strong or saturated, but they think that they're good enough to go ahead and come in, and what they'll do is take business from the ones that we already have. This is a study and, ultimately a deliverable, a plan that we've never done before. This is something that I have felt strong about to do the comprehensive plan. I think that it is a foundation, to a document that, for the most part is our most important document that we do, which is a comprehensive plan. And it's honestly one of those things that I just haven't felt comfortable asking the board to put $150,000 plus into into a comprehensive plan process without something telling us where we need to go.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
No, it does. Look, I've been thinking about this one all week. When I'm reading the feedback about this company doing studies, it's all like regional economic development, or it's not individual municipalities that are normally doing these studies. Why would we not get with community, other municipalities near us and do a regional economic study? Because this isn't going to they're not going to just look inside the city limits, right? Because it's going to be more effective if it's a broader area.
They will always look at the region itself, yes. What I will tell you is this will be specific to our lands and our existing businesses. As far as, any of the Lake Area Council of Governments or LORDEC, LORDEC did the area residential or housing study. They've done the original, and then they did an update, I believe, in 2023, which will be something that this group will use as part of this study that shows workforce. And, that's another aspect of this is it will talk about our workforce and give us ideologies on our workforce to help us go forward in some of the things that we're doing now, which is increasing our dwellings so that we have more workers for the area as well. The number one thing that we always hear when someone calls us to talk about bringing businesses, where's the workforce going to come from? Where do they live? We need people within 25 minutes. And that's where each and every one of them knows that we have a shortage. We are obviously pushing housing to a point right now where I think we're answering some of those calls, but candidly, we're still well short. So there's many aspects of those. Yes, they do the regional thing, but it's just something that that we have felt, bringing in this position, Eric's previous position, and then with my disciplines, that this would be important to have specific to the city of Osage Beach. I mean, this will be the first document I will hand whatever company that we bring in to do the comprehensive plan. Which then obviously circulates into any of the service master plans, water, sewer, and transportation, especially transportation, just to coordinate and go towards development in the future. I know the number one thing that everybody in here, including myself, hates is spending a lot of money for a document that sits on a shelf. This will not be one of those documents.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Alderman Osteen.
I do support this study with some skepticism. Traditionally in the past, we've had studies not such as this, but along the same lines. I'm always very skeptical of the data pool that they use. Because of the uniqueness of the lake, and a lot of the data that they pull are basically trying to do like comparisons with other regional areas. And to put things in more perspective, the population of the city of Eldon is actually greater than the city of Osage Beach. So if you're to do regional data and look at usage there versus usage here, the comparable just doesn't exist. And we've ran into this several times with other studies on regional studies have a very limited data that actually will affect us. So if it's not something more localized, I don't believe we're getting a true direction on what we should be doing or how we should be utilizing the available land or economic future, et cetera, et cetera. So I support this, but I just want to point out that we've been burnt in the past on money we've spent on some of these studies because the data they provided turned out not to even be applicable to us at all because, once again, it's such a finite pool of people and land and usage that they can pull from.
One of the things that both Eric and I, made prevalent in talking to all of these groups, and especially this group, was that we wanted nationwide comps and not local comps. Okay, that and they were very excited about going out and finding tourist and resort communities that are as similar to us as they can find, knowing that, we are unique and we feel that we are unique. But that will be part of this process that I will be spearheading as well, to get them out of the standard type of things that we've been comparing ourselves to, and then, coming back with information that just doesn't make sense for us.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions? Alderman George.
Is this document going to provide for you a better approach for finding businesses that will fit our economy, I guess?
Yes, that's one of the top priorities of this is, what do we need? We can all, every single one of us has an opinion on what we have too much of, what we don't have enough of. This will actually be a document that provides actual numbers to those.
With that said as well, you mentioned something that it would help with Jeff and some development of public works and things. One of the things that we constantly get is we don't have places for people to walk, sidewalks, things like that. Does that bring any of that into light somehow, or?
It will not specifically say that we don't have enough sidewalks, which we already know, but what this does is it feeds into the comprehensive plan where we should focus both business and residential development for the future, and then by way of the transportation plan, which is a feeder off of the comprehensive plan, talks about intermodal transportation, which would be our sidewalks and that type of thing.
And that's kind of what I was getting at, is
Yes.
that.
Yes, this
where-
is the
where
basis to all
residential
of that.
development would be more beneficial as opposed to putting a commercial there, maybe zoning and
That
rezoning
is,
certain
yeah,
areas.
so where you're going is actually more what the comprehensive plan will do. It's the where.
Okay.
This is the who.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? I have a couple if you don't mind.
Sure.
What are the expenditures to date that we've expended on this?
Nothing so far. Only my costs.
Am I reading this right? What does that mean?
So that particular line item includes something else.
The
$24,000.
The sports
Oh,
study.
the sports feasibility study.
Oh, this was the same line item in the
Same line
budget?
item, so, but the
Okay.
55,000 is dedicated for this particular project.
Okay. Carrie, what involvement will staff have? How much involvement will there need to be? In other words, how much time is it going to take of theirs? And not when specific hours, but can you give us a general feeling for that?
I don't know exactly what our amount of time will be. Obviously, I believe that I will have more time in it now that we don't have someone in Eric's position.
Okay.
Any involvement with other departments, the only ones that it may involve may be a little bit of time with Jeff. Other than that, I wouldn't expect there to be anything more than just my time.
Okay. And then lastly, and I know that we haven't scheduled strategic planning yet, what's the probability that this could be done for strategic planning? Because it seems to me like it might be quite valuable.
When is that?
July.
Usually?
It's usually in July, but their study says it'll take them 5 months.
Yeah,
So-
I don't,
That's a no.
I don't
Probably
expect
not.
it'll be done for strategic planning. But if there's any aspects that I can garner from them at the time or prior to strategic planning, I'll be happy to share that with Devin so she
Preliminary,
can
your
get that
thoughts?
to you. Yes.
Okay. Will it be done by industry codes? How does it break it down? To her point around gas stations versus something else, how does it
It will be
organize?
done, based on industry, but not on specific industry. So it's not going to tell us we have too many Mexican restaurants. It may tell us that per capita, we have too many restaurants. That type of thing.
5,000 residents?
Yeah, or, yes, 100,000.
So don't use per capita.
No, they won't. They will do their counts as per our summer months.
Okay. Any other questions? Then I would entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Alderman Osteen.
Second.
Alderman Hoffman. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I oppose. What do
Alderman
I
George?
say, though? Do I say nay, or do I say aye?
Either one works for me.
You can just open it up to a roll call vote.
No, it's not.
Okay.
As long as the clerk knows who's voting what.
You good, Tara?
Yep, I'm good, thank you.
All right. All right. Motion carries. Is that a first reading? First reading carries. All right. Next item on the agenda is Resolution 2026-11-A. A resolution of the Board of Aldermen of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, stating facts and reasons for the necessity to amend funds for the fiscal year 2026 relating to the pavement maintenance project at Grand Glaze Airport. This is Ty.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the board. I need to apologize offhand for this airport department breaking the rules here. I can speak to these next four items all together. These are all related. We're coming to you tonight hoping for approval to move forward with this pavement maintenance project for the Grand Glaze Airport. This was actually scheduled for 2027. But because of some funding that's due to expire or get swept, we feel the need to move this up this year and try to get this done. We've got several forms of funding for some of the new aldermen that aren't familiar with airport projects. We get a lot of funding from the FAA through MoDOT. There's some non-primary entitlement funds that are involved in this. There's some IJA money, the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, which I will equate to COVID money. We had a lot of different funding opportunities during COVID. This is asking for a budget amendment for $747,041 for this particular project. As a lot of you know, in past projects, normally the city match for these projects is 10%, but because we have so many different pots we're dipping out of for this particular project, it comes only to a 5% match for this particular project. So out of the $747,000 we're asking for the budget amendment, the city will only be responsible for $36,499. Which is another main reason that we are asking to push this forward to get this done. And the main driver for this is the IJA grant portion of this. We've been notified by MoDOT that they've asked the government for extension to spend this money. This is actually 2023 IJA money, and they pretty much told us they don't think it's going to be extended. So that particular portion of this project is $118,000 that we could be being swept away. With that, I can speak to all the other portions of this as we go along, but I'll entertain any questions.
Okay. Any questions from the board? Alderman Osteen.
I didn't explain.
I've got a few. First of all, I just want to clarify, this project, though, the grants or the funding for this project is in place.
The funding is not in place yet, no.
So we've not applied for the grants, or do we have to approve this before all the grant money is in play?
Correct. That's another one of the items that's a little farther down is the grant application.
So there's a grant application, but there's other monies that we have to utilize in the amount of $118,949. It's the math I'm kind of getting confused on. There's the total project cost. There's money we have to apply for with the state or through the FAA, but we've already got money to pay for part of it. I'm just trying to link it all together on how this matches. So of the 747, there's only 118
We don't understand the $118,000.
in place.
I didn't explain that very well. There's out of the 747,000, there's 118 of that money that's tied to IJA that's in jeopardy of going away. So if we don't.
Applying for two grants.
If we don't, we've got.
So we've got grants.
We got NPE funding from 1 to 3 years, and we got the IJA funding from 2023. And all that grant money is in place, ready for us to ask for permission to use it. So basically, if I get this amendment for the budget, and then we get the application to MoDOT, then they can say proceed, and we'll have the grant application after that.
Okay.
I still didn't explain it very well.
All right, so,
Can I ask?
No.
Okay.
Okay,
back to the math again.
go ahead. Okay, Alderman Osteen.
Okay, so the total project is the 747.
Correct.
But then on bill number 2643, we're asking for an amount not to exceed 59,000 something something.
Correct.
Why, okay, if that's part of the 747, which you haven't even approved, why are we making an amendment for 59 of that, thousand of that to go somewhere else? Once again, the math isn't to me, I can't wrap my head around. We haven't approved this project, we're asking for 59,000 of it to be approved through a separate bill.
That is the engineering contract for this particular project.
But it's part of the 747.
It's part of the 747. So if you do not approve this project or the budget amendment for that, then that other bill will go away.
But if the engineering costs are part of the 747, why would the board need to approve that above and beyond just approving the total project itself?
It's just approved to sign the contract with the engineering firm for the design services for that project.
Can someone else help us simplify this?
So the design is part of the grant amount, but because the design is above my authority, we bring the contract to you for approval. So we're asking for approval.
So we have
to design it. We're asking for approval to apply for the grant. And we're asking for approval to do the budget amendment to do the project.
And then sign off on the contract for the engineering services.
Correct.
Okay.
Spending the 747.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around it, but I'll turn this over to somebody
Think about
else.
it for a minute,
There has to
Bob.
be a
Who's next?
separate approval for the
Hang on,
contract.
if you could, I'd like to be recognized by the board. Go ahead, or by the chair. Go ahead, Alderman Collins.
Okay. Okay, so the total amount of the project is 747.
Correct.
59,000 is the design work.
Correct.
That's part of the 747.
Correct.
So we're not getting a budget amendment for that. That motion is just to sign the agreement.
Correct.
Okay. Of the 747, the city's responsible for 5%, which is 36,000.
Correct.
And some change.
Correct.
Am I still good?
Mm-hmm.
If we vote this down and say no, does the price go up by 118,000 because that grant's no longer available? Is that my understanding?
Correct.
Okay, so today it costs us 36,000. If we say no and that grant goes away, that 36,000 becomes 150,000.
Correct. We will eventually, over the years, have more funding available to us. But as of right now, there's an extra 118,000 sitting on the table that we could grab right now.
Okay, that's the part I was missing. Thank you.
Are there any other questions at this point?
I do.
Because I have a couple, but go right ahead, Alderman George.
We talk about how this is going to expire and we're going to have that opportunity to be able to pull this money. When do you believe that this would be unavailable to us?
That was another reason for my apologies for breaking all the rules, because I have first and second readings on these. It was my understanding I need to have this application to MoDOT by the end of the month.
Thank you.
Alderman Hoffman.
So I'm going to kind of let the cat out of the bag for myself personally. I see the future of our airports being at least fine. I'm hoping that we eventually will be taking ownership of it. I think that is a play that eventually is going to happen. And I think the need for two airports will no longer exist. And I think investing in Lisi Fine makes sense. And I don't think investing in Grand Glades Airport at this time makes sense, because I'm not sure it's going to be an airport in 5 years. So I'm going to be opposed to to cutting checks for Grand Glades Airport, and I'm only going to be supporting infrastructure improvements moving forward, unless they're vital to operations or safety. I will only be supporting things for leasing fine.
Thank you. Anyone else? So I have a couple quick questions. So I got a little lost in the math too whenever we started talking about the fact that it was going from 36,000 to 118,000. If it's usually 90-10 and it's a $744,000 project, then why would it go to 118 instead of 74?
The 118 is just, if we didn't have that grant funding, that would be the 118. We'd have to be looking for other grant funding.
Okay, but historically, we've been able to do airport improvement projects at a 90-10 cost share. Is that fairly accurate?
Fairly accurate, yes.
Okay, so it may not necessarily cost us 118,000. Okay. What can you tell us about the condition of the pavement at the Grand Glaze Airport?
The pavement was last worked on in 2018.
Okay.
On this particular project, they're going to mill and fill the runway, the taxiway, and the ramp parking area.
I'm sorry, taxiway what?
The ramp parking area, and when I say parking area, I'm talking about aircraft.
Okay.
So it's going to be the whole pavement at Grand Glaze. The FAA likes to see pavement maintenance done every 7 to 10 years, and so we're right at 8 years now. It's still, as you know, they do the pavement condition index scoring every 2 years. That particular pavement that we're going to be working on right now is scoring a 45 out of 100, 100 being the best, 45 or
Is there an unacceptable level with them?
when it gets down to 30, they start calling it critical.
Okay. And if in fact we were to move forward with this, would this commit us to operating that airport for any particular period of time?
It'd be another 20 years.
20 years?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Can I add to that answer?
Sure.
All grants are 20 years, so 20 years without FAA approval.
Okay.
All of our, so what is, we've we've already spent money on the airports this year. Those grants run for 20 years. All FAA grants run for 20 years, which is why the feds always have their claws in you,
Okay.
so to speak. So projects we did last year, those grants don't run out until 2045. And that's why when we talk about the long-term future of the airports, you have to have the FAA, you're talking about FAA permission. It's the permission to go around that 20 years. Does that make sense?
Kind of. Thank you for the clarification. I find it interesting they give us 20-year grants for something that's supposed to last 10 years. Alderman Collins.
Okay, so now I have a different question. On page 163 of the packet, I think it's 8D of the contract, it says that it has to remain an airport for 5 years.
Different type of grant.
Okay.
Everybody gets their claws into us for everything, is the answer.
So we're already locked in for 19 years.
Yeah, I think probably 20, because we've probably spent money this year from grants, haven't we?
Yeah, but well, with the master plans, yeah.
Yeah, so we're already at 20 years from today.
For Grand Glaze Airport?
For both.
Yeah, for both.
So, anything else, Alderman Collins?
I don't have anything else, I'm sorry.
So one really quick question.
Wheels are spinning, sorry.
We aren't contracted to maintain the operation at airport, or we are contracted and we might be able to get an exception and a blessing or whatever you want to call it to say, no, it's okay, we'll absolve you of those commitments. How's that work?
That's probably, presumption is that we will maintain the airport for a minimum of 20 years. That's the presumption. And so to get around that presumption requires an FAA waiver.
All right. Okay. Alderman Osteen.
Once again, to clarify, we've already utilized grant money for Grand Glaze, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So by utilizing that grant money, we're locked into that 20-year grant period already.
Correct.
So without FAA approval, though, to give ownership elsewhere or to change usage, et cetera, correct?
Correct. If we don't do anything, yeah, all airports are designed, I mean, some of the grant conditions in theory, run perpetually. I mean, some of them are at least theoretical. So I don't want to get down into the weeds too much, but so the FAA grants are 20 years, and there's always been a debate of, well, do they actually run out at 20 years? Because some of them say forever. And the FAA's position to any city that's ever questioned that, well, could you run out the clock and then shut it down? The FAA's position is, well, you go ahead and run the 20 years and then we'll find out. Sorry, but and no airport can function for 20 years without federal money. It just costs too much. So no one's ever tried.
But once again, the clock's already ticking, so we've already committed last year to 20 years, regardless of what we do with this. So if we do not approve this, though, basically we're leaving $118,000 on the table.
That's
for grant money we can't utilize for Grand Glaze.
That's a financial question, but that's what I heard, yes.
You would have to find another grant to fulfill those monies.
Can I ask a question on that? Have we ever?
I see no downside other than $36,000 it's going to cost us.
Right.
Because we're already locked into 20 years, and we can fight that fight down the line.
I'd agree with that.
Alderman Hoffman.
I disagree. And just because we have a 20-year grant doesn't mean that we have to run it as an airport for 20 years if the FAA lets us out. And there's a very strong case to be made that a city of 4,500 people does not need 2 airports. So I look at this as we're spending $36,000 that might not be an airport in 3 years. And I would say if it was a safety concern or something like that, that's one thing. But if we're just putting some more makeup on something that, quite frankly, that airport loses quite a bit of money and we have to subsidize it out of general fund, I already think it's a sinking ship.
Okay. Any other? Alderman Rucker.
Well, I totally disagree with Alderman Hoffman. The FAA has granted us grants for a number of years. I don't know how many, but a number of years. I know all the way back into the 90s and maybe even earlier than that with both airports. So the FAA has realized or has seen the need for us to have 2 airports, and we can support them. I do not see Grand Glaze Airport going away. Be happy to debate with Alderman Hoffman anytime about the need for Grand Glaze to continue on to be there. And with that, I support this. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? So I'm still somewhat unfamiliar with the resolution process. I assume that we want a motion?
Yes.
Okay. I would entertain a motion to approve resolution 2026-11.
Motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Alderman Rucker. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Alderman Hoffman. Are you clear, Tara, or you need a roll call?
Nope, you're good.
All right. All right, next item. An ordinance, Bill 26-48, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, amending ordinance number 25.103, adopting the 2026 annual operating budget for the Grand Glaze Pavement Maintenance Plan. First and second reading. Ty?
Yeah, like I said, this is the pavement maintenance project. It's 26-045A-1 with the state, and this will be the budget amendment for $747,041. And just as a reminder, there is revenue associated with this, so the city's out-of-pocket expense will be $36,499.
Any further questions, Alderman Rucker?
Yeah.
Devin, April, I did not see a budget revenue amendment
Yeah, once the grant is awarded, then we will bring you a budget amendment for the revenue
for
side.
the revenue side. Thank you.
Any other questions at this time? Then I'd entertain a motion to approve.
1 second. Yeah.
Yes.
So once we send this application in, we're guaranteed to get the money.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, just for clarity, any other questions at this time? Then I would entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Alderman Collins. Second?
Second.
Alderman Rucker. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
Nay.
Motion carries. First reading. Now second reading of an ordinance, Bill 26-48, an ordinance of the city of, am I okay? The city of,
You can say second reading, same bill.
okay. Second reading is same bill. Ty, go ahead. I'm okay with that.
Number. Richard, you have to reference the bill number.
Oh, second reading is Bill 26-48, as previously read.
No other comments? Any questions?
Any questions for anyone? I would entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Alderman Rucker, a second.
Second.
Alderman Collins. All those in favor? Oh, roll call, please. Thank you.
Alderman George?
Aye.
Alderman Collins?
Yes.
Alderman Rucker?
Yes.
Alderman Mackey?
Yes.
Alderman Hoffman?
No.
Alderman Osteen?
I am very hesitant, yes.
He needs to qualify.
You're making my life hard.
Motion carries.
On the record. Qualify it.
Okay. All right, we move to Bill 26-42. Make sure I get these blue sheets right. Bear with me, folks. An ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to execute the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission state block funding application for the Grand Glaze Pavement Maintenance Project. First reading. Ty.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor, members of the board. This is asking for approval for the mayor to sign the application for the funding for this particular project.
Okay. Any further questions? Alderman Osteen.
I thought this bill was the board approving the usage of the $118,000 already allocated in grant money towards this project.
We got them backwards. This is 42.
This is the grant application for that particular project that we need to have on MoDOT's desk in order for them to give us the money that's allocated for us, if that makes sense.
You needed to do the resolution first.
I think our process
And
is
then
off.
amend, well, and then you have to do your resolution for your findings, and then you do your ordinance for your amendment. And then this is the application. And then you'll do CMT, which is the contractor. That has to be in that order. You have to approve one before you can approve another.
And then the revenue adjustments at the next board meeting.
Correct.
And then, okay.
It's clear as mud.
Got it.
All right.
It's only $747,000. What's the big deal?
Yeah, exactly.
Any further questions? And I'd entertain a motion to approve first reading.
Motion to approve.
Alderman Collins, second. Alderman McKay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Okay, second reading for Bill 2642 is previously read. Ty?
Yes, sir. This, another apologies for the airport department because I want to be the first department that has the new mayor's signature on it.
That costs extra, Ty.
I will be, if this second reading passes, I will be looking for you after the meeting for a signature so I can get this on MoDOT's.
Tara has already told me I had nothing else to do after the meeting, Ty.
Yeah.
No
Well,
further
things
comments.
change.
All right, so I would entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve Bill 2642, second reading.
Thank you, Alderman Rucker. Second?
Second.
Alderman Collins. Roll call, please.
Alderman Hoffman.
No.
Alderman McKay.
Yes.
Alderman Rucker.
Yes.
Alderman Collins.
Yes.
Alderman George.
Yes.
Alderman Osteen.
I'm going to say no, so the cheese did not stand alone. Mr. Hoffman.
Motion carries.
I'm already winning them over, Kevin.
Okay.
I thought that was going to be a preface shady yes, because this still sounds confusing.
All right, we'll move on. Bill 2643, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to sign a contract with Crawford, Murphy, and Tilley, known as CMT, for aviation project consulting services in an amount not to exceed $59,540. First reading. Ty Dinsdale.
Yes, thank you, Mayor and members of the board. This is the pre-construction design phase contract with CMT. We're asking the authorization to sign this contract with them. This is part of the $747,000 grant funding for this project. This particular contract is not to exceed $59,540. And once again, the city will only be responsible for 5% of that particular contract. Thank you.
Any questions from Alderman Hoffman?
Does this contract apply solely to Grand Glaze? Nothing in this contract applies to Lisi Fine?
Correct. This is just for this particular pavement maintenance project.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Alderman Osteen.
Just thinking through the process again. We're applying for a grant for this project, but we don't have the engineering services completed yet that I would assume would have been part of the project application for the grant. No? We just want to put in some new runways, but at the cost of X amount of dollars, but we don't have the engineering plans or the scope of work for that.
Devin?
Yeah, the design is part of the grant, so they have to estimate their scope and fee prior to applying for the grant so that we can pay for it. They don't design the project before we pay for the grant or obtain the grant.
Okay. All right, thank you.
So if I could, this is part of the validation process for how much the grant will allow. To get those funds identified is what it's going to cost.
Okay.
Okay? If that helps. Any other questions? Okay? Entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Alderman Rucker.
Second.
Alderman Collins. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Motion carries. Second reading, Bill 26-43, as previously read. Ty.
No other comments. Thank you.
Any further questions?
Motion to approve.
Alderman Collins. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Alderman McKay. All the, roll call, please.
I'm George.
Or George, I'm sorry.
We're both really good-looking guys. So.
I know, I looked the wrong way and said the different, whatever. Okay, anyway, thank you for their patience. Roll call, please.
Alderman Rucker?
Yes.
Alderman Collins?
Yes.
Alderman George?
Yes.
Alderman Osteen?
Yes.
Alderman McKay?
Yes.
Alderman Hoffman?
No.
Motion carries. Next item, Bill 2646, an ordinance City of Osage Beach adopting and enacting a new code of ordinance for the City of Osage Beach established in the same, providing for the repeal of certain ordinances not included therein except as herein expressly provided, providing for the manner of amending such code of ordinances, providing penalty for the violation thereof, and providing when this ordinance shall become effective. This is Tara.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the board. We have been working on this code book since May of 2024. When I first took it on, I thought I could do this in a few months. Well, here we are at almost 2 years. Everybody's had a chance, minus the two new aldermen, to look at it and review it. We only had 496 pages for you to review. I didn't get any comments back, so I'm hoping that this all goes through and passes. Most of the changes that were made were mostly state statutes that contradicted with our current code. So everybody who, if we pass this, then everybody will get a new code book if they want one, if I have them, or you can get them online, it's up to you. But I do recommend a first and a second on this. Thank you.
Questions from the board? Alderman Rucker.
What part, or let me back up. The updating of the website, is that part of this, or is,
Yes,
that
it
all?
should be all updated. It will be updated as soon as I send them and tell them that that you guys passed the
Then
ordinance.
that'll be, the printing of the code, of the books, and then, but the downloading and the upgrade.
Oh, most definitely, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you, that's all.
Okay. Any other questions from the board? So I have a question.
Yes.
Why does it need to be a first and second reading tonight?
Because I'm tired of dealing with it. And
Okay.
I knew where she was at, so I didn't bring it up.
I did at the last meeting, so I wanted a first and a second. And if we do this as a first and a second, then it didn't quite take me 2 years. It only took me 1 year and 11 months.
Yeah, I wasn't going to complain about this one.
All right.
Huh?
I wasn't going to complain about this one, first and second.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Justin.
Any other questions from the board? Looking for a motion.
Motion to approve.
Alderman George.
No, Osteen.
But I'll second.
Oh, it was Osteen?
I'll second
Okay,
it, though.
it sounded like, okay.
Sounded like.
Alderman George seconds. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Bill 2646, second reading is previously read. Tara,
I have no further questions or I have no further statements unless you guys have questions.
any further questions? Just entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Alderman Rucker,
Second.
put your hand up, would you? That way I know.
Okay,
It's hard to
gotcha.
tell from the voice. Alderman George. All those, okay, roll call, please.
Alderman Osteen?
Yes.
Alderman George?
Yes.
Alderman Rucker?
Yes.
Alderman Collins?
Yes.
Alderman McKay?
Yes.
Alderman Hoffman?
Yes.
Thank you so very much. I appreciate all of you.
You're welcome.
Good job.
Next item. Bill 2647, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to sign a 3-year agreement with Communication Square to purchase Microsoft 365 licenses. First reading. Michael Bean, please.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the board. Just a hint on what we have on the blue sheet last year. We went out to bid. RFP was submitted. Communication Square come back as the winner. It was our first year doing business with them, so normally we would ask for a 3-year agreement to renew, but we wanted to see how the first year played out. Subsequently, the business relationship with Communication Square has been great, so we're looking for approval to move forward with the purchasing of our Microsoft licenses. IT Department recommends approval.
Thank you. Questions from the board? Seeing none, need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Alderman Hoffman. Second.
Second.
Alderman Collins. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? First reading carries. All right, next reading, or next. Bill 2649, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, amending ordinance number 25.103, adopting the 2026 annual operating budget, approving the modification of the full year 2026 employee pay plan for certain administrative positions. First reading. Maddie Moon.
Thank you, Mayor and members of the board. So recently, the Human Resources and City Administration Departments conducted a review of the Marketing and Development Director, MDD, Public Information Officer, PIO, and Recreation Specialist positions following recent turnover in the MDD and PIO role. This evaluation identified notable overlap in the Recreation Specialist duties with that of the PIO, resulting in operational redundancy and a subsequent request for elimination of that Recreation Specialist position. With this adjustment, the city has an opportunity to better align staffing with current marketing, public outreach, and event coordination priorities. Reclassifying the public information officer position to marketing and events coordinator instead will more accurately reflect the responsibilities needed to support citywide marketing initiatives and community engagement efforts. Staff also reviewed the MDD position following Eric Hundelt's recent departure. With continued growth in community development, new construction, and project activity, the city requires strong leadership in that role to support its marketing development coordination, and community engagement efforts. To better align with the city's mission of providing high-quality services, fostering a supportive environment for residents and businesses, and maintaining Osage Beach as a premier destination, we would recommend elevating the Marketing Development Director position from pay plan level 11 to level 12. This adjustment will help attract a qualified long-term candidate who can effectively guide these expanding initiatives. So what I'm proposing is 3 different steps. So I would recommend reclassifying the Public Information position to Marketing and Events Coordinator. This reclassification more accurately reflects the scope of work necessary to support the city's marketing strategy, the event coordination, and the community engagement. The position would remain in that pay plan level 9 where the PIO position currently sits. That marketing and events coordinator position will continue to manage essential public communication and outreach functions. They would lead and coordinate the municipal events and associated logistics associated with those. They would develop and implement marketing strategies to promote city programs, activities, and initiatives, and they would support interdepartmental collaboration to ensure consistent and effective public messaging. This reclassification will be accomplished without increasing the total number of authorized full-time positions and will not require additional budget allocation, as it is made possible through the proposed elimination of the recreation specialist role. Secondly, the HR department would recommend eliminating the position of the recreation specialist. This will result in 1 less full-time equivalent position within the Parks and Recreation department. And then third, we would recommend elevating that marketing and development position from a level 11 to level 12, just to better enable us to bring in someone at the level we need them to keep someone long-term in that position and compensate them adequately. The elimination of the recreation specialist position results in salary savings that will help offset the increased costs associated with moving the MDD position. The savings will support the proposed pay plan adjustment while maintaining the overall personnel budget balance, as the recreation specialist position is not planned to be replaced. I would request support and approval of this amendment. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Maddie, that was a lot. Questions from the board, Alderman Hoffman.
Yeah, this is just a comment. I'm not in support of this. I do not want the public information officer title changed. That's something that I spearheaded and fought for. Our communications with the public are better than they've ever been, and that title for that role, I think, is very important. The only part of this that I support is moving the economic development up to 12. I do not want to eliminate a position out at Parks. Parks is running efficiently, and I don't think that removing someone from Eric's team is the right thing to do. So the only part of this that I'm going to support is moving the economic developer up to 12, and that was essentially based on, I did sit in on the exit interview with Eric. That was something that he suggested moving forward, and I agree with that, and I think we kind of maybe misread the room a little bit when we made it an 11. So that's where I stand in all of this.
Alderman George.
I share the sentiments that you do, Alderman Hoffman. I don't see, with the growth that we're projecting for our city parks and adding these other things such as the paddleboard rental and things like that, that this would be the time that we'd want to remove a position from Eric's department.
Alderman Osteen.
I'm not opposed to combining responsibilities and positions, but obviously that's at a cost, because we're not creating a new position, we're just reallocating responsibilities. So the responsibilities are above and beyond that individual's existing responsibilities, correct? So if we're going to put responsibilities from economic specialists to somebody else that's currently working for the city, they're just taking on more than they currently have on their workload. So it kind of confuses me that it's not a new position, it's just more responsibilities going to other people. And I don't see how we can justify that at the expense of then not filling two positions and reducing staff in Parks and Rec. That's my big issue, is going down to, it feels like me those responsibilities, additional responsibilities would be like afterthoughts. You know, that's a low man on the totem pole on what they currently have to accomplish on a daily basis. Parks and Rec has been one of the departments that we have been pushing to expand on the amount of events we host, on the amount of visitors we try to attract to our parks. Because of that, we've had the whole master plan done. We have approved adding a pavilion this year that we could rent out for special events, etc. We have asked that the Christmas lights display comes back to the city park. We have asked them to put on this special huge event for the 4th of July this year because of the anniversary. It just doesn't make sense to me that we would be creating these new job titles and pay at the cost of reducing the staff that we're pushing to increase the amount of labor they would be having to do to meet that goal. It's kind of counterintuitive. I'm like, we can't ask them to keep building this department and then turn around and reduce staff.
And we've talked about this at length and have included Eric on the discussions for this. Our recreation specialist right now, she does primarily do her work in office. She's not as much out at the parks. We've talked about this year kind of looking at Eric's staffing levels through the busy season as we've put the new playground in and have those expansions on the horizon, and potentially reassessing at budget time if we do need to add another technician in that would better support in helping support those new activities that we have going on down there. The recreation specialist right now, her overlap with the PIO is that she is responsible for the park social media posting. She partnered very closely with Holly, who was our previous PIO, on many, many things, and there was a lot of overlap in the duties that they both shared. So rather than having two people do one job, essentially, the recreation specialist is currently categorized at a level 7 pay plan. The PIO is categorized at a level 9. We had looked at, if we are to maintain the PIO position, potentially dropping it down to a level 7 or a level 8. Instead, we'd be looking at combining those two, adding responsibilities, and that position would be reclassified to that new title to include the events coordination. Addressing the city events that we want to have more of and provide more for our community, they are city events. So Eric wouldn't be not involved at that point. The Parks Department wouldn't be involved or wouldn't not be involved in the city events. It would be continuing that partnership between the Economic Development Department and the Parks Department to hold the city events together. This would just be a dedicated person who's there for the marketing and events coordination for the city.
Okay. I'm opposed to this at this moment. I'm not opposed to it in general. I feel like we should have had more discussion, but that's on us as a board. I would have been probably more in favor to table it than to outright kill it, but that's just my 2 cents.
Anything else, Alderman Rusty?
That's all.
Okay, and that is helpful up here. Whenever you're done, just say, please, that's all I have. That way I know. I don't want to cut you off. So Alderman Collins.
So I don't support this right now for different reasons. I agree with some of the sentiments that we're putting a whole lot of pressure on parks, and it seems like removing a person from them right now is not a good idea. It also seems like we've been doing a really great job on social media recently, and so I'd hate to see that fall. But it's really more, to me, it's back to the timing. I would love to see 2 positions be combined and have some budget savings. I would love to see that. That being said, with Eric Hundelt leaving, this person would report to that office, correct? Correct. So we're combining 2 positions that they don't even have a supervisor right now. We don't know how that person, when we replace Eric, we don't know how they're going to want to see that department laid out. I think that we really should be waiting until after their boss is hired and before we try to redefine roles, because you're creating a new position. You're combining 2 that now report to 2 separate things. It's a recipe for trouble, and if you're missing a supervisor, I just don't know how it goes smoothly.
Right. It wouldn't be reporting to 2 supervisors. It would just be to the marketing and development director. Generally, when you're bringing in a new employee, you're not having them give you input on how to structure your organization. That's generally coming from the administrator's office. I think having that person in place and then having the supervisor come in is going to work out fine. Presently, without getting into too many details, the person that would be reclassified into this role is going to be out for 8 to 10 weeks as of next week. So by the time they get back, we'd more than likely have the MDD position filled and that person in place to give them direction. Social media right now has been just on an automated schedule that Eric and Holly had put in place before Holly's departure. After June, we don't have anything currently scheduled.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Any other, Alderman Rucker?
Well, it has been the history of the city, and I support this. And my role as a top administrator in my working career, I always did the same thing, and that is whenever you have a vacancy, you just don't fill it. That's the time you need to sit back and evaluate that position. Make sure that the position is what needs to be filled. Does it need to be expanded? Does it need to be reduced? What needs to be done with that? And then make that decision and then move forward with it. And that's exactly what's happened here. We've had the vacancy, and staff has taken that vacancy and sat back and evaluated it and come up with some suggestions or things we need to do. At our last meeting, when the board voted down the compensation study that that some of us wanted to get done, one of the things that was brought up was the evaluation of the staff. And I felt, and it was in the compensation study, that that's one of the things they would do, is help to evaluate the staff and determine, is there two people doing that is there one job that can be done where two people are doing it? And the board, some of the board spoke very strongly that they felt the staff could do that. I don't feel that the staff can do it to the whole organization, but the board felt it. Now the staff has done that, and now you're saying, no, staff, we don't think you did that right. So the staff has done what historically they used to do, and it had been. The staff had done what you asked them to do even at the last meeting, and now you're not taking their recommendation. So that's just my view on it. Thank you.
Alderman Hoffman.
That's exactly right. This is one where I'm not taking the recommendation because the public information officer and the events coordinator at the park, I think, are two completely separate jobs. That's all I have to say.
Any other comments? Eric, go ahead.
I'd just like to provide the board with a little bit of more information so they can make an informed decision. The recreation specialist position was created prior to me starting as the park manager 4 years ago, mainly to organize youth league. And just for example, this year we have 230 kids in 19 teams. All right, multiply 230 kids by 2 parents. That's a lot of calls. It's a lot of organization. Basically from February through May when the season starts, this position, that's all they do. They also assist with special events. A big part of that, these big events, it's a lot for one person to do, so you're a team. We're a team anyway. So in addition to that, I changed the job description last time we interviewed to assist with maintenance as needed because we need help. We're not a big department. So I'm not opposed to the idea of combining these positions. I want to just give some praise to Caitlin. She is outstanding. She has done an outstanding job. She's very capable. She has filled in. For example, Holly was out in January. She filled in, helping out with social media updates and everything. She's very good at that. Prior to that, I maintained the park's Facebook page, though. So it's not something, but I do it whenever I can. Now, they're 20 years younger than me. They can do a much better job, you know? I mean, it is what it is. So the only thing that I'm concerned about is you are combining 2 jobs. The events in the park are not going to get smaller as long as I'm parks manager. I will push to expand family-friendly events, to expand our parks inventory, and a lot of people don't see all of the behind-the-scenes work that goes into planning these big events. Now, right now, we have 4th of July, which I'm going to have everything taken care of by the time she comes back. And then we have Fall Festival. Everybody shows up, it's great, but there is so much that goes into planning these big events, and it's a lot for one person. Now, if the board moves forward with that, even though her position will be planning out the events, I'm more than happy to help with it. It's no problem if she needs it. What I do have a problem with is all of these events happen in the parks. And it's been explained to me in City Park that if there's a disagreement or anything like that, that I'm supposed to discuss this with whoever her future supervisor is and come to an agreement. I have a problem with that. I'm the parks manager. I feel like I should have final approval of all events in the park. I don't foresee any conflicts. We work very well together. I also have a problem with losing a position for our parks team. It's not a big parks team to begin with. So taking away is really counterproductive to us. I'm in agreement and I'm all for supporting this as long as I have final approval of special events in the parks and I get a replacement park tech for FY27. Other than that, I want to do what's best for the city and ultimately for the Parks Department.
Thank you, Eric. Any other questions from the board? I would entertain a motion to approve. Seeing none, the bill dies. So my question becomes, the next bill, which I think supported this motion, is it irrelevant now? Do we need to take any particular action? Okay.
It needs to,
Since it's on the agenda, we have to take action.
Take it up and do the same thing.
yeah.
Okay, so we read it.
Yeah.
Okay. Bill 26-50, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, amending ordinance number 25.103, adopting the 2026 annual operating budget, requesting a transfer of funds to increase personnel expenditures within the economic development salaries. First reading. Any questions from the board? Oh, I'm sorry. Maddie, did you want to add anything at this point?
This is just the budget transfer that would have supported the previous reading.
Okay. Any questions from the board?
Marathon night.
I have a comment.
Go right ahead. Alderman Hoffman.
I would support if it comes back up to move the economic developer up to 12, and wouldn't be totally opposed to moving the public information officer down one level if that helps balance the budget. That was suggested by Eric when he left. Just throwing that out there.
Okay. I have some thoughts on the whole economic development and social media too, but we'll leave that for things like strategic planning and maybe some other conversations we may or may not have in between. Okay. I'm looking for a motion to approve. Seeing none, the bill dies. All right, we move on to staff communications, and we'll start with City Administrator David Ryan.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the board. Last Friday, I'm sure Chief will talk about this, but I had the opportunity to go with Chief and our lieutenants and a detective to Command College graduation for Sergeant Salerno and Sergeant Morley. One of the statistics that they said at that Command College graduation, there were 41 graduates, and combined, they had 776 combined years of service.
Wow.
Our two graduates made 39 years of that. So we have an incredible police department, and I am very proud of both of them. I sent an email earlier today about Lucky 8 being available tomorrow at 11 and 1. They have expressed that if neither of those times work, if you would still like to talk to them, they are willing to come back. So please let me know if you would like to come to one of those sessions. And if neither of those times work and you would like to meet with them, I can arrange that. And then I just want to welcome all of the new elected officials, and I look forward to working with all of you. That's all I have.
Devin, can I ask you a question real quick? Now, this is kind of you and Cole. That has to be brought back to the board for Lucky 8 to get a third season, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
That's what we've been directed.
Just making sure. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Assistant City Administrator April White.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the board. I just wanted to let you know that last Wednesday was our second Employee Development Day. It was open to all city employees, and we had 70 attendees, so even more than we had last fall. Everyone loved it, great feedback. We brought in a very energetic and knowledgeable speaker. Everyone loved her energy. She presented on 3 different topics, so it allowed employees to choose the sessions that they were most interested in, and they could come to all or come to whichever ones they were interested in and fit into their schedule. I want to recognize Keegan for her efforts in making the day so flawless. She worked out all the details with the speaker. She took care of all the setup. She took care of securing a vendor to sponsor the lunch. She arranged all the prizes. She secured another sponsor for the Team Osage Beach t-shirts that were handed out to all attendees. So everything was well thought out, and it was a success thanks to her. And then I also wanted to just thank all employees who attended. Everyone participated well. Everyone was really engaged, and we received, again, nothing but positive feedback. So it was a great day for development and growth for Osage Beach employees. That's all I have.
Thank you, April. City Attorney Cole.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the board. I have a few things tonight. Number one, I know I emailed you all on Friday, but we do not need to have closed session, or I'm not anticipating anything in closed session tonight. Number two, wanted to welcome all the newly electeds, and for those of you who have not been on the board before, I will be the bane of your existence in closed session, and I apologize for that in advance. And last, I wanted to recognize two long-time projects. Ron, I know with the building codes, that's your one time to shine every 10 years or so. And that's a labor of love, and I don't envy you having to read all that. And Tara, congratulations on finishing the codification. And I'm really mad at you for making me read all 416 ordinance changes.
It was horrible.
It was things they don't tell you when you take this job.
I know.
So,
Well, we don't have to do it again. Let's just leave it alone.
deal.
All right.
That's all I've got.
Okay. City Clerk.
Thank you. Yes, I want to welcome everybody, all the new aldermen, and I know that Devin has sent out an email about some upcoming training. If you guys could let me know if you want to attend. It's in June. It's the last Thursday, Friday of June. The first week, Thursday, Friday. I think it's the 4th or the 5th. It's in Columbia. It's a new elected officials training, and it's really great. And Devin and I will be going with you, but I need to know soon so I can make the hotel reservations. So let me know. Okay?
Soon, if you don't mind, is by when?
By next week would be nice.
The end of next week?
How about next Friday?
Okay.
Okay. That
Very good,
works.
thank you. All right.
Thanks. That's it. Thank you.
Building official Ron White.
Yeah, just like this, did you want to go back to Chief? Okay. I'd like to thank the city for the opportunity to recently attend the Missouri Association of Building Code Administrators training. Went through a certification class. It's a FEMA sponsored certification, the SAVE Coalition in Missouri, that stands for Structural Assessment and Visual Evaluation, where they deploy those who are qualified, which I am an Inspector 3, it's no big deal, everybody calm down, but to natural and man-made disasters such as the Clinton tornadoes. We wait, they call on us, then they send us out, and we go through after the teams go through and rescue and recover bodies. Then we would do the assessment on the structures to see if they're safe to enter. So thank you very much. That was the first portion or first half of our 3-day seminar, and then we also had the Americans with Disabilities Act education, which is always eye-opening, and I find things that I didn't realize were in the code or find new opportunities there. So thank you all for that. Welcome to the new mayor and members of the board, and re-elect Rucker, of course. And I also just want to take a moment to point out that Ty really had a lot of stuff on this agenda, and I feel that that's kind of, I don't know, selfish of him. And I would like for him to let other people have a chance to speak. That's all.
Michael Bean.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the board. Just want to sincerely thank Mayor Harmison. It's been a pleasure working with you for the last 4 years. I mean that. Thanks Celeste and Phyllis as well. We're going to miss both of you. Welcome to all the new aldermen, George, Mackey, and obviously Alderman Rucker. Travis or myself will be reaching out to you guys with your username and passwords. We do have cybersecurity campaigns that I will strongly recommend you guys finish and get good passing scores. And for those of you that do that, maybe give a vote of, or a good push to the other ones up here that sometimes don't follow through quite as well as we would like. So not calling anybody out.
All fingers at me.
That's right.
I wasn't as bad as
Getting ready
Bob.
for that.
Yeah, that's right. But welcome, everybody.
Thank you. Parks Director Eric.
Yeah, just to echo what Michael said, thank you, Mayor Harmison, for your service. It was good working with you, and welcome to all of our, thank you for our outgoing aldermen, obviously, and thank you for our incoming aldermen. Look forward to working with all of you. Welcome back, Kevin. Just a reminder, the Phoenix Playground is almost finished. We're very excited about that. The poured-in-place surfacing is going in now. The contractors tell me that it should be finished hopefully by next week, the end of next week, if all goes well, and then we'll do a little site cleanup, and then I'll plan a ribbon cutting possibly for the second week of May. And I want to thank in advance all the ladies from City Hall that were on the committee and helped pick out the playground. It was a tough choice. I think there was like 15 choices, so appreciate their time. Other than that, and I mentioned this earlier, but I wanted to really thank Caitlin for all her work on the Youth League. Again, record number of kids. It is so much work. The position was vacant last year, and I did it all myself, so I know exactly what she was going through. I helped a little bit, but it was mostly her. Update on the road paving project for the lakefront. It is being surveyed and platted as we speak. When that is complete, the street department plans to move forward when our paver comes in sometime in May, and the road's going to be paved, and the Special Roads District has agreed to pay for the materials. And that's about all I have.
Human Resources, Matty Moon.
I just want to say welcome to all the new elected officials. Thank you to Mayor Harmison. It was Gouda working with you, and we're sad to see you all see y'all go. Sorry, that was cheesy.
That was Work Manager Ty Dins, or, okay, Public Works Director Jeff Fisher.
Thank you. Just a couple of things. Public Works uses a work management system, a work order system, has been since '23, I think. Cartograph, it's now called OpenGov. We would like to explore other opportunities. It is a costly program, probably just too robust and not really what we need. Cole thought it'd be smart to just report to you that we are exploring that, and we possibly would like to get out of that contract early. And as long as you don't have any concerns, we'd like to continue to explore that. And then Public Works Week is May 17th. The team would like to celebrate that Wednesday and have a cookout at the Public Works campus and invite City Hall and the elected body. They're pretty excited about that idea. So we'll get a formal announcement and invite out soon. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Airport Manager Ty Denzel.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the board. Welcome all the new elected officials. Congratulations. Thank you for your grace in letting me slide some first and second readings in tonight. I appreciate that, and thank you for your patience for allowing me to stumble through that. But welcome, everybody.
Thank you, Ty. City Treasurer Carrie Bell.
Yes, Mayor and Board of Aldermen, just welcome all new board members. Look forward to working with all of you.
City Planner.
Yes, thank you, Mayor, and members of the board. Welcome and good luck, good fortune to all of the new ones. We had a eventful planning commission meeting this past Tuesday, and if you missed it, that's all right, because you're going to get to see it all on May 7th. So it's coming at you with the planning commission in mind. Since Mr. McKay decided to jump ship and board up with you all, I could use a couple more planning commissioners if you all have any names in your book. So holler those folks out to Mayor Ross, and I would appreciate a couple new members. Thank you.
Thank you, Carrie. And I did not purposely at all skip the chief, but so I saved the best for last, Todd. I'll call it that and try to save that one, okay?
That'll work. Like Devin said, Sergeant Morley and Sergeant Salerno both graduated command college. It's 6 weeks of intense upper management training that they went to, 1 week a month. So we're working on our succession planning for the police department. So we got 3 of the sergeants that went through that. We've got 2 more that go to the 26 and 27 session. We have a police officer recruit that will start next Monday, or the 27th, I'm sorry, Damian Lanou, and then he will start the academy on May 4th. We have an offer letter out for one other one that he'll be taking a psych test tomorrow, so we'll see how that pans out. And if those 2, the police department on the law enforcement side will be full staff, and we'll still have 2 dispatch openings. Local law enforcement, or our police department, communications, Osage Beach Fire, our ambulance, and the hospital staff this week did some active threat training, tabletop sessions here at the PD. So later this fall, we'll be doing scenario-based training with a location to be determined. And welcome to the new board members, and thank you to the ones that are going off, and now you can enjoy your free time. That's all I've got.
Okay. Members of the board communications, we'll start with Alderman Osteen.
I usually like to go last because I usually give some pretty damn good speeches. So I'm going to make it quick tonight. Congratulations, Richard, on your position as mayor.
Thank you.
I'd like to welcome Bill and Steve to the board. Even though they are new to this board, I've been friends with both of them for several years. So I've got dirt. So in case you want to know some background on either one of them. Do want to, just like everybody else, acknowledge the outgoing board members, Phyllis Morose, Celeste Barella, as well as Mayor Harmison, and thank them for their service. That's it. Thank you.
Alderman George.
First and foremost, thank you to my ward for voting me in. Phyllis had, I have to speak on, Phyllis was here for quite some time. I made sure that I acknowledged her, and I believe that it's rightfully so. She has done so much for this city. I do believe that I will have some big shoes to fill. I will do my best to do those. I also want to thank everybody here for the support as well. I look forward to doing this for the city of Osage Beach, and I think I will work very hard for our citizens and keep that in mind and keep the personal stuff out so that way I can just really focus on them. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Collins.
So I have a few things. First and foremost, thank you, Michael and Celeste, and especially Phyllis. I have enjoyed working with you for the last year, and I wish all of you the absolute best. Thank you to Jeff and Chris for the sewer presentation. It was incredibly informative, and I cannot tell you how much I appreciate the comprehensive approach that you've taken. It's been excellent. Great job to Tara and Ron for completing such massive projects. Can't promise I read all of them, but I made a good dent. Eric, I drove by Punic Park yesterday and it looks really exciting. I can't wait to take my grandson to the new playground. And then finally, welcome to Stephen and Bill and Richard. Be careful what you wish for. No, I wish you the absolute best, and I look forward to working with you. If there's anything that I can ever do to help, having been most recently in your shoes, then feel free to call me. And that's all.
Alderman Hoffman.
Well, I want to individualize it. I want to thank Celeste for her 2 years. Sitting next to me, she was awesome to sit next to. Always had a lot of fun with her, and she's a very, very smart girl. I'm going to miss her, but I like you too, Bill. Phyllis is like a surrogate mom to me. I grew up with her sons. I've known her since I was 5 years old. And she has done some amazing things for this city. Her heart is all in Osage Beach. I'm very proud of her and very happy for her accomplishments. Lastly, Mayor Harmison, we've gotten a lot done. I'm very proud of the things that we've worked together to accomplish. Obviously, the dog park is, very important to both of us. I very much appreciated that right off the bat when I got elected, you were there to help me and get on board. When I had an idea, you would help me push it, and you took the dog stuff very seriously, and I really appreciate that. And you are due a lot of respect and accolades for the growth of this city. People don't realize behind the scenes how much you really did to push growth and be a stellar representative to the public. And I noticed it, so I hope everybody else did, and I want to thank you for your service and commitment. And Angie Schuster for running a great campaign, and then showing up here tonight. I really think that says a lot about you, and that your heart is really in Osage Beach, and you ran a really great campaign. I watching it unfold, I was like, whew, this is a three-heated race. This is going to be really interesting, and it was. So congratulations on your efforts. Bill, you get the best seat in the house because I always bring candy. So I'm looking forward to working with you. Mayor Ross, obviously you and I have become pretty good friends over the years. I knew your heart was going to be in it, and you were out pounding the pavement and knocking on doors, and I'm very much looking forward to working with you and occasionally butting heads with you, which I think is probably inevitable for us. And lastly, Stephen George ran one heck of a campaign. I love Phyllis so much. I wanted to not root for you, but you're so dang likable that it worked out pretty good. I was always worried that if Phyllis ever left, that we might get stuck with someone that I wasn't really a big fan of, but I'm really looking forward to working with you. We've obviously spoke on the phone several times and been out and had a few eats and drinks, and I think you're going to bring a lot of positive energy to this board. And now you and I represent Ward 2, and I'm looking forward to moving forward with you, bud. Absolutely. And that concludes my thank yous.
Thank you. Alderman McKay.
I just want to congratulate Mayor Ross and Alderman George on the campaign and everything. Look forward to working with the board and getting to know the city staff and employees better. Definitely want to thank my wife, Melissa, my daughter, Jana, and my sister, Janice, for their support, the words and just encouragement they gave me. And most importantly, a special thanks to my neighbors that voted for me and put their trust in me. So I won't let them down.
Thank you. Alderman Rucker.
Yes, I have a couple of things. First of all, welcome to all the new folks. I shared a joke with Rebecca, said, "You're no longer the probie," and she informed me she moved up 2 notches. So Rebecca, congratulations, you're on the move. Congratulations, like I said, for those that got elected. Angie, you did a good job. You put yourself out there. As well as did, and I will probably pronounce it wrong, Mr. Vanilla. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm sorry if I mispronounced, but I applaud those people for putting yourself out there and giving the voters an opportunity. But I'm glad that nobody put themselves out there in my ward. I thank my ward for, at this point, this is the 9th election that nobody has wanted to oppose me. My wife said, "Are you doing a good job, or do you just have them buffaloed?" And I said, "Well," she says, "I know the truth." And I just didn't go any further, just left it alone. So I will continue to represent my ward and hopefully continue to make them proud and happy. Mr. Carey.
Yes, sir.
I applaud you for your P&Z meeting. I heard every word you said, but I didn't hear this side until your chairman turned Angie's mic on, and your last 2 people's mics were not turned on. Bill's was not turned on, nor was Blair's. So I just asked the staff in their special meetings, there is people that watch those, maybe do a mic check. I thought about doing a mic check for the board tonight because, folks, there are people that watch these meetings, and it's important. I just missed a couple of opportunities of some things that some of them said. And I don't know how we can do that. Michael, if we can put a little red light up there if they don't turn their mic on, or I don't know. I'm not the tech guys, you know that. But it has improved a lot. I've always been an advocate of watching the meetings. I've attended meetings, obviously, via that way, but I usually go and look at meetings afterwards just because I think it's important that the public have an opportunity to hear everything. So, but you were the biggest problem for years because you always walk away from the mic, but you're doing great. I know, but you're doing a good job. I wanted to let you know, I beat you up before, to tell you you did a good job. The other thing is that I want to ask the staff, and probably it's mainly you and Ron are the main 2. You guys have boards and committees, okay? I know there's some other ones. But if you have people on those boards or committees that are not attentive and cannot participate, of course, your board never does meet, but if you do, bring that to the board and we can replace that person or go talk to them politely, because it's our job as a board, and I asked the board to think about this, it's our job as a board to make sure we supply those committees so that when our public has a problem and has to exercise any of those committees, we have a committee there to meet. And it's very bad on the city if all of a sudden these people show up at any of these meetings, Board of Adjustment, Board of Appeals, Planning and Zoning, and they're not a quorum there. Citizens Advisory Committee or whatever there may be, that there's not a quorum there to take on that business. So, you know, we need to think about that as appointments are coming up. And I just asked you, the staff, if you've got some folks that just can't, and it's nothing wrong with it if they can't attend, life changes. You know, if all of a sudden their life changes and they just have a problem attending, then we need to make sure that we get you the resources you need. And Ty, I applaud you for opening up your eyes and ears and finding this opportunity and saving us some more money in finding that this grant, some of this grant money will not be there in the future. I applaud you for looking at that. I applaud the staff for looking at that and being attentive to those issues that can be savings to the city. That's more than just doing your day-to-day job, but that's keeping an eye out for the good things for the city. And with that, I look forward to the oncoming, maybe 2 years. I don't know if I'll make it 2 years or not, but I look for the oncoming future of my serving on the board. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Rucker. I just have a couple of quick things. One, of course, welcome Alderman George, Alderman McKay. I look forward to working not only with you and as a previous board member, supporting anything I can do to help you to transition quickly. We will definitely miss Alderman Moreau. She's a dear friend, but there's all great things do come to an end, as I said to her earlier, and we look forward to moving forward. Alderman Borello always carries a special place in my heart because I think I talked her into running. But I get the privilege of working with her on things like Wingfest at Rotary and so forth. So I will hopefully keep her in touch and engaged. Okay. And I will just say 9 years ago, one of the things I wanted to bring to this board was, and I'm sorry, Mayor Harmson, thank you for your service. Okay. And we wish you well. One thing I wanted to bring to the board was that a culture of recognition. And with that, I, in the last week, have had the opportunity, want to personally recognize Administrator Devin Lake. She's been very helpful in this transition. She works behind the scenes, does a lot of things, and I can't thank you enough for helping this transition go as smoothly as it has, and I feel engaged already. Thank you. Okay? And that's all I have. Do I need a motion or can I just adjourn it?
No. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We're done, folks. That costs extra, Ty. That costs extra.